Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular, and by the new Dodge. It's about change.
Where legends are made, where champions are crowned, where dreams come true. You're watching Fox Sports. Hey, as the boys of summer settle their dream season, the guys of the gridiron got a dream day of their own right here. It's the NFL on Fox. The boys in skins renew football's finest rivalry. Throw out the record books in this one, baby, because it's war for Dion, Michael, Terry, and Stubby. The rejuvenated Lions tangle with the Bears. Detroit wants a batch of wins. But today, Charlie, battle the Bears.
I heard this is a very good move. We should be quiet.
Who need to play 4 quarters instead of 2. For San Francisco, the menu reads arroz con scoro. That's rice with touchdowns. The Niners want to KO the Bills in Buffalo. The Panthers and Falcons tussle in Atlanta. Yeah, Chris is confident, but KG is steaming for revenge. The G-men go hunting for pirates, matey, in Tampa. You know, Big Blue's D is back. The Bucks got a runner that'll break your back. Speaking of great backs, well, this TD needs no QB. Bubby or Big John? Hey, it doesn't matter. Because Terrell's on a roll, and he's looking to roll over Irving's Eagles.
And folks, Fox is the place for sports today. First off, we've got an NFL doubleheader with Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice, and Terrell Davis all set to compete right here on Fox. Then after football, it's baseball in Game 4 of the Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres in the divisional series. The Padres lead that series 2-1. Folks, it's virtual utopia for the sports fan right here on Fox. And hello again, everyone. I'm James Brown, and welcome to Fox NFL Sunday. And if you're talking about utopia and not Todd Rundgren, you must be talking about Terry, Howie, and Chris. And hey, big boy Howie Long in the movies again, upcoming Dollar for the Dead. Why you laughing,
man? First, you know what? Dollar for the Dead. What is that? I mean, he works with Travolta and Christian Slater. Then he works with Scott Glenn and Firefight.
Fireflies.
And now he's doing a movie with a guy named Bill Pickel.
Big pick.
Do you see what's happening?
You're saying the progression is this way. We're going this way with this.
This is going to be a great Western because neither one of them have lines. So, go ahead. Say something.
Next Sunday. Sunday night. That's all I'm worried about.
It's not in subtitles, though, is it?
No.
For those wondering who Pick is, they will see him on the football field in just a little bit right here on this show. All right, folks.
Terry might see him soon.
It's time now for our Fox Watch, and we begin with a game that you have to watch. That's because through the years, Cowboys versus Redskins is the very definition of bad blood football. And calling today's game is another Western star, Dick Stockton. And Dick, if the winless Redskins lose today, Norv Turner will certainly need a fireman suit to survive the heat. Dick?
You're absolutely right, JB. We have light rain here, and what is always Dallas week has turned into desperation week in a matter of survival for the Redskins, because they know as well as anyone that no team has started out 0-5 and made the playoffs in the history of the National Football League. They thought they solved their problems in run defense. That isn't the case. In the last 3 weeks, individual rushers have gained at least 100 yards. And another change in the Redskins' defensive lineup. Darryl Pounds will start at free safety today, so Stanley Richard moves over from free safety over to the strong safety position. The Cowboys report that they're healthy despite some dings, but the latest word on quarterback Troy Aikman is that x-rays are coming up on Monday, and Chan Gailey told us it is unlikely that he will be back in action next week. Right now, let's send you to Chicago and Tim Ryan.
Thank you, Dick. The Windy City will be windy this afternoon, but sunny skies prevail for the Lions and the Bears at Soldier Field. The Lions got a win last week finally, but they come in here with a lot of problems for today, starting with the suspension of their starting safety Mark Carrier for this hit last week against Tampa Bay wide receiver Bryce Hunter. That suspension upheld by the league office after an appeal. On the injury front, Herman Moore, he got hurt in practice this week. Here he is arriving earlier.
You guys going to run into that wall.
Think you'll be playing today?
Yeah.
Oh, you will?
Oh, yeah.
So Herman on the limp, and defensively, Kerwin Waldrop. He missed practice Friday because of a knee injury, will not be suited up. Terry Fair also gone with a hyperextended knee, a valuable contributor. On offense, Barry Sanders, yes, he's healthy. He'll be running hard, but his blockers are playing hurt. Pine and Compton up front, and the fullback Corey Schlesinger. Now for the Chicago Bears, Curtis Conway will miss this game because of a groin injury he aggravated in last week's loss to Minnesota. So that's the story here in Chicago. Let's take it now to Buffalo and Kenny Albert.
Thanks very much, Tim. The 2-1 Falcons host the 0-3 Panthers here at the Georgia Dome. Carolina looking to avenge a Week 1 19-14 loss at the hands of the Falcons in Charlotte. Now, Carolina quarterback Kerry Collins learning a new system this year, the West Coast offense, which normally lends itself to a higher completion percentage. But this season, over the first 4 weeks, only Chargers rookie Ryan Leaf has a lower completion percentage than Collins. Defensively, Panthers right cornerback Doug Evans dislocated his thumb last week, will be in uniform, but Rod Smith will start. Evans, the 6th different Panther knocked out of the starting lineup so far this season. JB, back to you in Los Angeles.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. And later in the second half of our doubleheader, most of you will see the winless Eagles tackle the 4-0 Broncos. Game time decision on the return of John Elway, but Denver looking to extend its home winning streak to 19 games. Now, the rest of you will see the G-Men invade the pirate ship and the struggling Buccaneers. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, right here on Fox. As we talk about the Buccaneers, Terry, the team that you picked to be in the Super Bowl
Wake me up.
is only 1-3. Defense, second in the NFC. Its pass defense is first in the conference, but why are they not getting it done on offense?
JB, hey, you ladies out there, you remember when you were dating your potential husband and the guy would open the door for you, take out to nice restaurants? I mean, remember how sweet and kind and everything was perfect? Then you marry this clown. And then the first thing that happens, he takes his toupee off, and you're shocked. He takes his teeth out, puts them in a glass of water next to the bed. He doesn't shave. He doesn't brush. He doesn't do anything. The guy's he belches, picks his nose. You remember? And then all of a sudden, you say to yourself, this isn't exactly what I expected. Now, I know that's a lousy analogy, but you get my idea when I'm talking about Tampa Bay.
It is a lousy analogy.
I don't have any idea. What are you talking about? This isn't what I expected. They're 1-3. They got a bad offense. They can't run the football. They got a good defense. They're struggling. They only won one game, and when they did, they ran the football. It's not what I expected. I expected Tampa Bay to be there, and right now they're very, very, very disappointing, like the husband.
Mr. Bradshaw, would you like to tell me about your childhood, maybe?
You know what, if I talk to another therapist...
I've heard about it. You don't want to hear it.
Oh, man. And the scary thing for this Buccaneers offense, they really have only played one decent half of football this entire year, and that was the second half against the Chicago Bears. They can't keep relying on the defense to score points and to set up this offense, because right now this offense just simply can't get it done. I thought they looked scared against the Lions on Monday night.
Yeah, and the big thing today is you're talking about two offenses that really need their defenses to play outstanding. The frustrating thing for a Tampa Bay defense is you continually play good defense and put your offense in position to make plays, and they don't make plays. They don't convert. They don't have the wide receiver threat, or they haven't had it due to injury up to this point. The onus has been on Trent Dilfer, and that's by design. Defenses are loading up the front. You wonder why these guys can't run the ball with the outstanding backfield. Offensive line is good. They're not great. But if you've got 8 hats and 7 blockers, you can't get them all blocked. That's why they haven't been able to run the ball.
They get Jaquez Green back, Bertie Manuel, the other receiver. He's not back. You got to have weapons. I understand that.
Mark Carrier, you heard about it in the Fox Watch. Suspended, game pay, he loses $27,000. You agree with that?
Well,
Chris does.
Let me ask you this, though. If Mark Carrier gets suspended one game check and a game for only $27,000, what if he's making $300,000 a game? Do you still suspend him? That's my question to both of you.
Yeah, I think you do if you suspend the guy for a game.
But would they? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know, but something has to be done to protect those wide receivers in that situation. And guys that are coming in leading with their head, I'm sorry. I mean, that's how you end up getting people killed, broken necks and the whole thing. I will say in their defense, though, for defensive backs, when they're jumping up and trying to make a play for the ball, and now they're dipping down and have to make the tackle once the receiver's made it, their head is on that level, so it's very difficult. I mean, they almost would have to duck in order to miss the hit.
Chris, that's a soft side of you I've never seen.
All right.
Oh, I've seen that soft side.
But we got to protect those wideouts.
Would you be able to give that analogy again if we pressed you on that one?
On what?
the husband.
thing with the toupee.
Yeah, I think I could and probably do a little better job of it. I may switch it around.
Turning now to baseball in the American League Championship Series. It'll be the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians. While in the National League, the Atlanta Braves locked up one of the spots last night, and it took place at Wrigley Field. Take a look. Last night, Eddie Perez and the Braves trying to knock the Cubbies out of the playoffs. Perez takes this Rod Beck pitch out for a grand slam home run. Perez's home run capped a 5-run 8th inning. The Cubbies' Cinderella season came to an end, but they still had a lot to cheer about in Chicago as a team. Thank the fans for their support. A classy move indeed. Meanwhile, Kevin Brown looked really good, pitching on only 3 days rest. He struck out 5 in the game. Jim Leyritz. This guy is becoming Mr. October for San Diego, fishing for the fastball. He sends it into the left field seats. That was Leyritz's 5th career postseason home run. And the Astros and Padres now move on to play Game 4 as the Padres won that one. Game 4 tonight, Houston versus San Diego. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific, right here on Fox. All right, folks, now we have just gotten started here. As a matter of fact, here's what's on tap for today's show.
Hi, this is John Elway. Red 98! Today on the one and only Fox NFL Sunday.
This is fun, Steve Young.
That's right, Coach. It is fun. This season, the Niners' Steve Young is certainly living up to his last name, as the old pro is not only aging well, he's getting better. But this inspired young gun doesn't tear up defenses by himself, you know. The future Hall of Famer talks to Pam Oliver about the best supporting offensive cast in football. And Jimmy has his Dolphins undefeated. Today, they try to go to 4-0 for the first time since the Shula years. Susie Culver's at the Meadowlands as the Dolphins look to send the Jets into a tailspin. Then, they said he couldn't win the big one, but last year, John Elway proved all his critics wrong. So now, what else is there to prove? 2 Super Bowl QBs go one-on-one as Terry and Big John talk about getting it done. Coming up, coming at you on the one and only Fox NFL Sunday. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. By E-Trade, the #1 rated online broker. By Energizer, long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going. And by Volkswagen, on the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
The Miller Lite really good teams of the week for last week, the 49ers and the Lions. San Francisco's offense, awesome again. On defense, the Lions gave up just 130 yards and 2 picks over Tampa Bay. Who do you like this week, Chris? Howie?
The Washington Redskins defense finally has a good day today against the Cowboys.
Who the Raiders playing?
Oh,
Anybody,
man,
just pick the
come on.
We'll talk with a really good coach, the Packers' Mike Holmgren, right after this. And welcome back to Studio 2A at the Fox Network Center. Full house here as we get set to talk about the big game coming up on Monday night. Of course, 2 unbeaten squads, the Vikings and the Packers, fight for first place in the NFC Central. And once again, Packers head coach Mike Holmgren has his team in line for another title run, and he joins us now from Green Bay. And Mike, thanks for being here. And last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came to Lambeau as the NFL's early surprise team. You sent them home with a loss. This year, it's the Vikings, but they have a lot more offensive weapons. A big reason for that, this super rookie that folks are looking at now, Randy Moss. He's leading the team in receiving yards and catches and is tied for the team lead in touchdowns with 4. The question is, with Carter and Reed on either side, what can you do against Randy Moss?
Well, you kind of keep your fingers crossed for starters. No, they're off to a great start, and he's a very talented young man, and that's no surprise to anybody. We knew they'd be a very potent offense this year. And what you just have to do is play great team defense. And the key to it, really, like any passing game, is to put pressure on the quarterback. So we're going to try and make Randall's life a little more difficult. Because if he has time, quite frankly, against those guys, they're great receivers. They're going to make plays.
Hey, Mike, it's Howie Long.
Hi, Howie.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, you know, I'm biased, but I personally believe it all starts up front with the defensive line, and your defense is off to a great start, and in particular that defensive line. Does it take a Super Bowl loss and the way the game was lost up front with that defensive line to re-inspire that group and get them back on track?
Well, I think that was part of it, but more importantly, I think, is the addition of Vonnie Holliday, for one. Now, he's a rookie, but he's really a fine player. You're going to love this young man. He can really play. And then Reggie feeling better. Gilbert Brown feeling better. When we played in the Super Bowl game, we were banged up pretty good. Give Denver credit. That was a bad combination, a banged-up defensive line and a great running attack. So part of it is inspiration. They want to make up for what happened last year.
Mike, a big reason why you went to back-to-back Super Bowls was simply because of the balance that you had on the offense. You were able to throw it, obviously, with Brett Favre, but you could also run it with Dorsey Levens. So far this year, your team has really struggled running the football, even when Dorsey was in there. Is that a concern of yours right now?
Chris, it is a concern. And I don't want to put, Brett carries enough of the load as it is. Last year, we were able to balance that off a little bit more because Dorsey had the great year. And quite frankly, we have not run the ball very well. And, it's obvious we haven't run the ball very well. We're going to keep trying, however, and we will get better. Raymond Harris is starting to pick up our offense a little bit more, and he's a tough guy. Travis Jervey is back off injury. And we're going to keep trying. So when you work hard at something, I think you got a chance to get better.
Hi, Coach Terry Bradshaw. How you doing?
Great, Terry.
This past week, the commissioner laid down a suspension on Mark Carey, the safety for the Detroit Lions. He's put out Don Beebe. He's put out Robert Brooks, players on your football team. I guess, first of all, was the suspension justified? And secondly, do you possibly think that more than one game should be added?
Well, I think the last person to be suspended was one of my own guys, Leroy Butler, back in '92 or '93. And I think that's the last resort. You try and fine a player, first of all, then you get a letter of reprimand or warning if it happens again. And if you see any sort of a pattern, I think 3 or 4 times on any team, then you really have to step in and get a little more serious about it. That is totally the commissioner's decision, however. And we're always looking on the competition committee to make the game safer. I mean, it's a violent, tough football game, and we don't need any extra stuff to hurt people.
Hey, Mike, I know this is old news, and you've already addressed the staff and coaches weeks ago about the IRS investigation into unreported income for autograph signing sessions. How much of a distraction has that been to the team?
I don't think it has been a distraction, JB. I mean, initially it was because it kind of was an eye-opening thing. I talk to the team every year about this sort of thing. There's card shows and signings and different things in this day and age that other players didn't have the access to in years past. And I just tell them, remind them, make sure you take care of your business, make sure your accountant knows what's going on and things like that. And now we have this investigation. I don't know who the player, we don't know any names at all, but I just went back and reiterated to the football team, listen, take care of business. If you're involved in any of this sort of thing, you have to declare it and make sure your taxes are right. And then it was said, and then it was done, and now we're playing football.
Hey, Mike, as I say goodbye to you, I got to take up for the big guys. Terry is always on Gilbert Brown. Let him know that we big guys really do have good cardiovascular. We're fine.
JB, that's not true. Coach, don't buy this.
Hey, Gilbert's in the best shape of his life, honestly. He's not small now, but he is really in good shape.
Hey, Coach, thank you so very much for it. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, folks, while I'm being choked by Terry, let's turn to another game. The unbeaten Dolphins take on the 1-2 New York Jets at the Meadowlands, and our own Susie Culver's there. Susie looking in great shape. No cardiovascular problems there. How you doing, Susie?
I'm doing great, JB. Say, remember how many people criticized Bill Parcells for signing volatile linebacker Brian Cox? Well, it's a good thing that he did. Not only has he kept his cool, but he has 2 of the team's 3 sacks. And he says even though he and Dan Marino are good friends, he's going after him hard. Now, that might not be an easy thing to do because the Dolphins' blocking unit has been solid. They've got Dan Marino protected. He's got that quick release. And as promised, the Dolphins are sticking to their running game. The game plan is control the ball, let the defense do the rest. And you know about their defense. They've given up a league-best 7.3 points per game. So it's the NFL's #2 defense against the NFL's #2 offense. Let the trash talking begin. What goes through your mind when I say that they're the second-ranked defense in the league with 7 interceptions and 13 sacks?
Yeah, that's kind of an intimidating statistic.
The thing that characterizes our defense, I would say, we just got a lot of youth and we're hungry.
I think this defense is sort of like a college defense, because everybody flies to the ball and we're always hyper. We're just ready to play every game.
You certainly can't control what comes out of the guys' mouths, but would you prefer that Sam Madison didn't start the trash talking 2 days before kickoff?
No, as long as they understand that anything they say, they're going to have to back up. I don't ever try to put a muzzle on one of the players.
We all know who Terrell Buckley is, so Terrell Buckley's not saying too much. It's the other guy who started the 2-day pregame hype.
He thinks he's one of the best receivers there ever was in this game and there ever going to be in this game.
I don't do any trash talking.
You just got to let him rumble on, you know. Just go out there and make plays and then just tell him to look at the scoreboard.
Madison has learned to love the press coverage. He had 2 interceptions in their last game. Of course, Johnson is tied for the league lead with 4 TDs. And by the way, you have to go back to 1982, pre-Marino days, to find a Dolphin defense ranked in the top 5 in overall D. JB?
All right, Susie, thank you very much. A very confident talking Sam Madison who loves the press coverage. His press coverage better be good today.
Absolutely. You know, the Dolphins are 3-0, and they played very well defensively, but they have not played against a team that can throw the ball like this bunch can. And I asked Bill Parcells about Vinny Testaverde. I said, what makes him better right now? He said, Chris, he's never played on a team that had tight ends and that had backs, can catch the football like this team does. I don't think he's going to throw the interceptions like he's done in the past.
You wonder where the NFC East has gone? It's in the AFC East now.
All right, I know Testaverde is somebody that Terry is always like. All right, folks, we've got a lot more coming in today's show, including a conversation between 2 quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw and John Elway. One's in the, that's you, in the Hall of Fame already. The other's on his way. Steve Young talks about his outstanding start and the Niners' offensive juggernaut.
I think that's maybe one of our secrets, is that every week you're going to get a workmanlike attitude so that, you know, if we can go out and be explosive on the weekend.
With a career quarterback rating of nearly 100.
I had that almost 70 one year. That's pretty good.
Steve Young is the most accurate passer in NFL history. He's on a roll, looking for his 4th straight 300-yard passing game. Back with more in a moment. Before the season, nobody thought these 2 quarterbacks would be starting today's grudge match between the Cowboys and Redskins. Nevertheless, both Jason Garrett and Trent Green have been solid since replacing Troy Aikman and Gus Frerotte. Garrett is 1-1 as a starter. Green, 3rd in the NFC in passing yards. As we welcome you back to the show that has the Hall of Fame quarterback here with us. All right, folks, the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. That matchup conjures images of Staubach and the flex defense against the over-the-hill gang and the Hogs. Now, this year, though, the Cowboys are struggling. Troy Aikman's out at least another week, and their 2 main running backs, Emmitt Smith and Chris Warren, are banged up. Now, as for the Skins, let's just say that even though they were 0-4 in September, they probably had a better month than President Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Joining us now is Matt Millen. And Matt, as we talk football, hey, the $57 million question in Washington is, how is it that their run defense is actually ranked worse now than it was last year, Matt?
Well, they tried to solidify the middle of the defense, but, you know, they didn't take care of the outside part. And, you know, and part of that, you know, when you look at it, you knew going in that the ends weren't going to be that strong. And so I think what happened is Stubblefield and Wilkinson inside really had to step things up. And really, when I watched Dana Stubblefield, he's kind of playing the way he did last year in San Francisco. And how you'll appreciate this, he's playing along the line of scrimmage. He's not taking off. When he's effective is when he plays like his nickname of Stubby and comes off hard up the field. And I think if they can get that part done with Stubby, I think that helps the run defense even more.
Hey, Matt, this is Chris. When are the Redskins going to quit losing games at the quarterback position and just turn around and hand the football to Terry Allen and let him go?
Well, you know, I think what happens, that's a great question, Chris, because I think what happens is, I think Norv Turner, you know, we've all said this, is an excellent play caller. And I think part of that is patience. And one of the things you have to do is you have to gauge how much you're going to throw, obviously how much you're going to pass, and one thing builds off the other. Now, for Norv, I think the whole thing is the same thing it is here in Washington. Don't panic. Stay with what's got you there. Keep handing the football off, and then the passing will come. You know you have Trent Green, and he can do some things, but it's not going to happen unless you get that running game going.
All right, Matt, thank you so very much, and we'll be talking with you, I'm sure, as the day rolls on. As you know, Matt, one of Washington's losses this season was the debacle against the San Francisco 49ers 3 weeks ago. But the 49ers haven't abused just Washington. In fact, today against the Bills, the Niners can become the first team in NFL history to gain more than 500 yards in 4 consecutive games. Joining us now from Buffalo is Pam Oliver. And Pam, it's really hard to imagine this offense getting any better.
Well, JB, the scary part is that the 49ers feel they just get stronger and stronger as the season progresses. You know, there's already been talk in the Bay Area that this could be the best 49ers offense ever. Well, I talked to Steve Young this week, and he didn't go quite that far, but he does like what's there. And that's mainly weapons galore, his own maturity as a quarterback, and some solid execution.
Okay, Pam.
Demonstrate it to me, Steven.
You're the strong safety.
Yes, I am.
If you stay right there, I'm going to throw over your head, all right? If you move up a little bit, I definitely going to throw over your head. If you move back a little bit, I still might, but if you go all the way back.
Young throws deep over the middle for Rice, and he's got it. And there he goes. The race is on. And Jerry Rice wins. Touchdown.
Are you in your prime? Are you at your best right now?
Well, physically, it hasn't dropped off dramatically, so it's not like there's things I can't do that I used to be able to do. But what's really been a plus is that I'm a lot smarter than I used to be. You know, that's a big difference because I wasn't very smart. I remember older quarterbacks telling me when I was younger, there's a great time in your career where you figured it out and you're still healthy, you know, and those are great years. I think I'm in them.
Come on and dance with me. I can make your dreams come true. Come on and dance with me.
When did you settle down? When did you become less spastic and more of a guy who's in control?
When I became the starter, you know, when you know that you're going to be in there for 4 quarters. Earlier, you were the comic relief. You know, you were the guy that came in and had to make something happen. You know, and so I could make something happen. When you're bootlegging or you're play actioning one side, the guy on the back side, usually in defenses, when they see flow, there'll be one guy back there kind of watching for it. Well, J.J. Stokes versus whoever it is, you can almost throw it and just, what's the worst that can happen? You know, he's so much taller than everybody, he can really make great plays. These days, with the receivers I have, I'll take more chances. I'll throw a ball that, it's a little iffy. Because those guys, I mean, they'll get it. It's a lot of fun to watch them. It's a real fine line between being aggressive and being patient. But if you're careful about both of them, you can do a lot of good things.
Have you ever felt this good this early? 36 years old. Are you excited about what's happening out there?
Yeah, I am. I'm very excited. But I've played long enough to know that seasons go for a while, you know, and you got to keep it going. And we don't want to be a flash. And the nature of who we've been over the years is that we finish strong, and we need to take it all the way through January.
The only chink in the armor for this offense was the loss of left tackle Dave Fiore to a knee injury out 8 to 10 weeks. Jamie Brown will get the start today. This is a guy who hasn't played in a football game since last November when he was with the Denver Broncos. On top of that, Brown has had to work his way back into favor with his teammates. Remember, JB, this is the guy who was a no-show for one preseason game and showed up late for another, resulting in a 3-game suspension. Not exactly the way the 49ers like to do business. Back to you.
Pam, I can't help but notice you're attracting quite a bit of attention there with all the guys walking by, huh?
Get out of my shot.
Hey, Pam, thank you so very much. Oh, wow. As I turn to Howie talking San Francisco, keep in mind, Chris Collinsworth picked San Francisco to be in and to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, you know, he has to be right sometime. I mean, last week I think he said Detroit was throwing in the towel by starting Charlie Batch. So
wait a minute.
Shot, Howie.
Oh, you know, wait a minute now. Charlie Batch and that offense have scored 1 offensive touchdown in 2 games. Let's build a wing for him in the Hall of Fame.
Question is, Howie,
who can stop San Francisco?
Who can stop San Francisco?
Hit me with a couple more stats, Chris. You know.
Answer his question about
what
San
are you,
Francisco.
a fax machine?
It's just a matter of time. Who can stop San Francisco?
Nobody can stop San Francisco but their schedule and complacency at this point. This team is a machine right now, and the reason why, they have 3 enormous wide receivers, great at the skill positions. Garrison Hurst looks like the player they had coming out of college, outstanding, and they've put the ball back in Steve Young's hands because he's healthy this year. They are throwing the ball more.
Here's the point, though. Dave Fiore and Pam brought up a great point.
We're done.
No, let me make this one point. Dave Fiore is going to be,
I tell you what,
he's
you can
out
talk
of the
with
game.
Howie about it.
Bruce Smith is over on that spot.
So what we will say is that there's a lot more to cover in today's show, including the non-talkative Terry, who will be talking ball with Denver's John Elway. Last year, Elway won it all. So the question is, what's in store?
pressure for me was to win that first one. Now I'm having fun trying to repeat, and it's not the pressure that I had from that first one because I lost 3.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
With the Cowboys' Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman banged up, Deion Sanders has stepped it up. In Week 3, Sanders basically beat the Giants by himself with 2 touchdowns. Back with more after this. Jerry Rice looking to hook up with quarterback Steve Young today. If Rice catches 2 touchdown passes from Steve Young today, they become the all-time touchdown duo in NFL history. As we welcome you back to Fox NFL Sunday. Later today, it's the Eagles against the Broncos. 2 teams headed in opposite directions. The winless Eagles go back to Bobby Hoying at quarterback. He was benched last week, as you may recall. As for the undefeated Broncos, a decision on whether John Elway plays today won't be made until just before game time. But, Terry, it's not today's game that matters most to Elway. He wants to win back-to-back Super Bowls just like our co-host here.
You know, I have been up all night. Actually got here at the studio at 4 a.m. this morning trying to figure out how to intro this little piece. I've even solicited the help from my cohorts here. Simply put, a lot of people find this hard to believe, but I find John Elway to be the most complete quarterback that's ever played in the National Football League. I went to Denver to sit down with a guy that's definitely on a Rocky Mountain high.
Josh avoids pressure, steps up, can run. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Elway lowers his shoulders and dives to the 2. He's got another first down.
When I think of Super Bowl that you played in, I only remember one thing you did.
The 37-year-old making it happen with his legs.
After the Super Bowl, I just went and sat in my room. I said, you know, all the naysayers from my whole career and everything that I've ever done was just completed.
When did you come down, or have you?
When I watch the end of the game, I still cry. I mean, it still gets me going like unbelievably. But I'm glad that we could start this year because now it's another challenge for us to go back and, you know, try to repeat one.
John, 2 different thoughts. You could go for the H2 or the double go. Or do you think we should run it?
What would happen, say, that you had Mike Shanahan as your coach your whole career, and Dan Marino had Jimmy Johnson? Would that make a difference? Is that important, John?
Sure, it's important. You know, I mean, I think that you know, not to be negative on anybody, but yeah, I mean, if Mike had been here my whole career, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I thought about saying, golly, I wish I was 26, and been able to play in this system because it's a great system. It's quarterback friendly. Would I change what I have now to go back and attempt to do that? No, I probably wouldn't do that, just because I wouldn't want to risk it, because I'm happy with where I am right now. But to think back and fantasize what would have happened if I was in the system the whole time, sure, that's fun. But the bottom line is, man, I can go look at home and look at that little box, see that ring, and that's really all that counts.
What did you learn the most from? Did you learn the most from winning last year, or did you learn the most from losing Super Bowls? What's made you the best?
Well, I think probably losing those has made me mentally a heck of a lot tougher than I ever would have been if I'd have won them. And I think it made this win that much more special because, you know, you worked so hard to get it. It was 8 years since the last time we got one. And then, you know, to be able to accomplish that one game kind of epitomized my whole career.
It was an exorcism.
Exactly. And so, I mean, that was the pressure and everything that was taken off my shoulders, and the way my career would be looked at was like looking at the sun and looking at the moon. I mean, it was totally changed.
It's time to get home. It's time to get going. What lies ahead, I have nowhere to go.
If you do retire, let's say, would you even consider being part owner?
Sure. Would I like to be a part owner when you look on the outside and be a part of football still? Sure. All that stuff looks good, but you still have to look on the other side and the return and all those type of things of what you're getting out of it. And no, do I want to spend as much money as they're paying for these franchises now just to be a part of it? No, it would have to be economically viable for me to do that.
Like, sweet!
No one's won 3 in a row.
Well, let's win 2 and then we'll worry about that.
Exactly, but no one's won 3 in a row. You win 2 in a row, I know you'll be back you got to be the
if we win 2 in a row, that means I played pretty well.
Yeah. So I know you'll be back if you win 2 in a row. Right? Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, I would be the one that would have to go to Denver, sit Elway down, and be the one to pull out of him if the Broncos win back-to-back Super Bowls. That Elway, Bronco fans, will be back next year.
I did that. You're the one that said that, not him. He just went, yeah.
He said yes.
No, you got
Time now for our Fox Energizer playbook. And, of course, the decision on whether or not John Elway will start will be a game-time decision. But in terms of the Broncos scheme, what difference does it make if it's Brister or Elway?
Okay, first of all, John Elway has a pulled hamstring. Today also has a bad back, so it will be, I think it's the back more than a hamstring today. Now, the reason Bubby Brister, the backup, is fine, the reason is that so much of their offense is predicated off of Terrell Davis. If he's running the ball well, then they take their quarterback, play action, and get him outside. Without Elway in there, Elway will not be running outside, so therefore Howie and Pick, linebackers, can key on Terrell and not worry about bootlegs. Here's a famous play Terrell Davis likes to run. Elway back.
Now, as a defensive end, I have to bite in on Terrell Davis. Have to. There was a time in John Elway's career when he didn't have a Terrell Davis, and the first thing they told our defensive end, go knock the snot out of John Elway.
So now not only is Terrell Davis dangerous here, but he's dangerous on the cutback, and that forces Howie as a defensive end to crash down and play me. So now look at what this sets up.
But if John's in today, you don't have to worry about this play. But if Bubby's in here, you have to worry about this tight end to the left, JB. JB looks like a tight end.
Go get him, JB.
You got to be over 280. Ready? Play out. Ride him in. Now, inside, I'm outside. Fubi's behind him. Touchdown call, JB.
Yes.
The backer bites up on the play fake. The defensive end bites in on Terrell Davis, and obviously he has a couple of steps on everyone. Backer gets behind, gets in front, wide receiver.
Also, they'll do it from the slot, Howie, where McCaffrey will come down inside, you disappear, and then he'll come back to the outside. Same thing. Vacate that area. That's why Brister will play today if Elway can't go. If Elway plays, you will not see this play at all.
And the Eagles know it.
Yes, they do.
Just because they gave me his belt and wardrobe, he's saying I'm over 280 right Anyway, kickoff is just minutes away, but right now it's time to check out this year's clutch performers. And when we open our Pizza Hut Deliveries pizza box, we find out that 2 Vikings have been killer in the clutch. That's right, Randall and Randy, the explosive quarterback-receiver combo in Minnesota, have each put the Vikes ahead for good 3 times this season. That's more than anyone else in the NFL. When we come back, more with the lightweight Terry Bradshaw. Let's sample some of the sights and sounds from around the NFL.
Like it's gonna rain.
Looking like we gotta get it done. Like the right perfect situation for a win.
My boy, Will White takes care of me, dog. He takes care of me. And Ray Boo, 3-4, 2-3, they take care of a brother. I'm the elder statesman that gotta take care of him. Part of the rule.
Speaking of elder statesmen, let's turn to ours, the co-host here today, talking about Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning, TB.
Okay, you know, both these kids, Ryan Leaf, probably the most physical talent to come out in a long time. Ryan Leaf, young quarterback in San Diego, and then, of course, Peyton Manning at Indianapolis, probably the most prepared. One thing they both have in common is they turned the ball over, a lot of turnovers this year. One thing I could tell Ryan Leaf, the young kid in San Diego, is look, if your dad asks you to write an apology to the fans and the media, that's fine. Do what your dad says. Secondly, don't write it. Speak from your heart, because when you turned around and threw that piece of paper into your locker, you convinced me that you weren't real and not sincere. Maturity takes a while. I think you're going to be fine, young man. Just be smart about what you're doing. Peyton Manning is going to be fine. 2 kids I really admire a lot.
You know, the Washington Redskins play one team the rest of the way that has a winning record. You're going to like this, Howie. If the Redskins beat the Cowboys today, I still think they're going to win that division.
Believe it or not, I agree with you. You know, if they win today, if the Giants get knocked off, they're 1 game out of division lead. And going into the season, say, this kid Green is number 3 in passing behind Favre and Young. Their offense is number 4 in the NFL in total yards. And Westbrook leads the league in not only yardage, but 24.5 yards a catch. And they still can't score.
The next 4 games, Dallas's opponents are 2-13. Wow. So, you're wrong, Chris. Sorry about that. But you'll get over it. Don't say another word.
Redskins
Wrap it.
And the component of the show that we move to now, so that you know if you have an early game, we'll take you out there next. Those of you getting a late game, we'll maintain some decorum here as we bring you back.
Steve Young has a tremendous arsenal of weapons. The explosive 49ers offense has had 8 different players score touchdowns through the air and on the ground. From relatively unknowns to a future Hall of Famer, Young has led them to the end zone and now into Buffalo. Beautiful Niagara Falls, the honeymoon capital, just 30 minutes north of Buffalo, where the 3-0 San Francisco 49ers visit the 0-3 Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park, New York. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts, and I mentioned honeymoon, and it's been a honeymoon for Steve Young and Jerry Rice, a second honeymoon these first 3 games.
I tell you what, I don't care what Steve says. He's playing great football, maybe the best football he's ever played. But the guy that's got a lot to do with it, number 80, Jerry Rice, he's back on the field. He brings that comfort zone, that comfort level to everyone, and he makes everybody better. Steve feels them out there. He gets his confidence back, and that's one reason this offense has exploded and done so well with the numbers they put up in the last 3 games.
One thing that might disrupt the comfort zone for the 49ers, left tackle Dave Fiore out for 8 to 10 weeks with a knee injury. That'll put Jamie Brown in the lineup, seeing his first live snaps all year.
That's right, the first live snap since last year when he was playing with the Denver Broncos, so nobody really knows what's going to happen with him at that left tackle. But Bruce Smith on the other side, he's coming back from that off-season knee injury. Nobody knows what's going to go on there. Watch this matchup, because if nothing more, this thing could turn into a tempo setter for both teams.
Time of possession for the Bills, they've averaged nearly 6 minutes more than their opponents. They're going to need to do that today to keep it out of that Niners offense's hands. And the guy in charge of that is Rob Johnson, the quarterback.
Right. You got to keep Young off the field. And then Rob Johnson, he's young. This is only his 5th start. And the thing he's been doing is he's been holding the football a lot, not making quick decisions. If they want to beat the 49ers, they got to have that ball control, sustain the drives, but they got to get big plays early. They got to assault them down the field on the perimeters and let them know that they can't line up in that 8-man front and slam them all day.
The Bills will be without Andre Reed, out with a separated shoulder, but they are 8-1 coming off of the bye week. We'll return to Orchard Park with the kickoff, the 49ers and the Bills, after this message from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
E-Trade, someday we'll all invest this way, presents the return of the week.
What a return!
In the NFL, special teams put out the fires that clear safe running lanes. Last Sunday, the Ravens did just that, snuffing out defenders and igniting this 87-yard touchdown run.
Up the sideline, he is gone! 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
When the smoke cleared, it was Baltimore on top of Cincinnati, 31-24.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's a beautiful day in Orchard Park, New York. 56 degrees at kickoff. A slight east wind, 5 miles an hour. As the Bills have won the toss, they'll receive Kevin Williams deep to receive the kick from Wade Ritchie. And Ritchie bangs this one through the end zone, and the Bills will take over a touchback. 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line. Let's take a look at that Buffalo offense led by quarterback Rob Johnson. Picked up in a trade in the offseason from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Johnson coming to the Bills with just 1 NFL start. Up front, John Fina, Reuben Brown, Dusty Ziegler, Joe Panos over from the Eagles, and Jerry Ostrowski. In the backfield, Antoine Smith and Sam Gash. The receivers, Quinn Early and Eric Moulds. The tight end is Lonnie Johnson. Andre Reed out of this one with a separated shoulder. And this will be Johnson to throw on first down. He's going deep. He's got his man. And this is the reception from Eric Moulds. And the Bills go for it early.
This is what I was talking about. If they want to have a chance to beat the 49ers, first thing they got to do is let them know that they will take them downtown. Watch the protection. Not much of a play action, but a decent pickup there by Antoine Smith. And the ball is right on the money. Rob Johnson can let it fly. He just needs experience. But that's a strong message from Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, who's done well against the 49ers when he's been with the Carolina Panthers, you might remember. that we will try to attack you. Don't bring that 8-man front up too soon.
A 49-yard connection. Eric Mold working on Darnell Walker. 1st and 10 for the Bills, and they'll throw it again, looking for Jay Remersma out on the outside, and there will be a flag down. It looks like they've got Tim McDonald pushing downfield. Could be pass interference on Remersma.
They're going to call Tim McDonald on the push-off. He had the coverage from that safety position.
Dick Hantak is our referee today.
Interference. Defense number 46. 1st down.
McDonald had his back turned to the ball the whole time. You can see it right over here. And one of the new rules this year is that anytime you cut off a receiver, even though you may be playing the ball, they're going to call that for pass interference.
1st and 10 again. Remersma in motion. This will be Antoine Smith taking it outside with a burst, getting inside the 10-yard line. Let's take a look at the 49er defense. Up front, it's an excellent group. The ends are Roy Barker and Chris Dolman. A couple of good ones played together in Minnesota. Bryant Young and Junior Bryant on the inside. The linebackers, Ken Norton Jr., who just made that last tackle, Winfred Tubbs, and Lee Woodall. In the secondary, Darnell Walker and Antonio Langham. The corners, Merton Hanks and Tim McDonald. A couple of Pro Bowlers at the safety positions. 2nd down and 8 now for the Bills. And Johnson will throw. And the pressure is on, and he'll be sacked by Roy Barker. 3rd sack of the year for Barker.
There's a problem. We talked about the sacks. The Buffalo Bills offensive line has given up the most sacks in the NFL so far. And there on the inside, that's just Barker. He's coming from that defensive end position. He loops inside, and that has been a huge problem, compounded by Rob Johnson holding the ball too long.
23rd time a Bills quarterback has been sacked this year, leading the NFL. And Thurman Thomas checks into the ball game as the Bills go to split backs on 3rd and 11. Johnson over the middle to Kevin Williams. Williams down to the 6-yard line. He'll be short of 1st down yardage, brought down by Lee Woodall.
Yeah, Buffalo settled for the field goal, but they got done what they wanted to get done. They knew they just couldn't go toe-to-toe with this team on defense. They had to have the big play. And they talked about sustaining the drive. Well, when you can make those kind of plays, you give up the drive in an effort to get this right here, a chance at points.
Steve Christie just 1 of 3 this year, but he splits the uprights, and Buffalo takes it early, 3-0 lead in Orchard Park.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Congratulations. 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the contest, the Buffalo Bills take a 3-0 lead on a 24-yard Christie field goal. 74-yard drive in 5 plays. The big one, the 49-yard shot on the first play from Johnson to Eric Moles. Steve Christie set to kick it deep. Chuck Levy and R.W. McCorder deep to receive. And this will be Levy, and he'll get knocked down at the 21-yard line. Eric Smedley with the special teams tackle, and a flag is down on the field, and it'll be holding on the return for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, that's going to put them in the hole, and the one thing that the 49ers don't want to have to deal with.
During the return, number 50. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
One thing the 49ers don't want to have to deal with is the crowd in this stadium. 80,000 plus full. It can get loud.
It will get loud. Steve Young, the quarterback, player of the month. He is playing his best football. Doing an excellent job. Up front, Jamie Brown, Ray Brown, Chris Dahlman, Kevin Gogan, and Derek Deese. The receivers, Rice and Stokes. The tight end, Irv Smith. In the backfield, Garrison Hurst, along with Mark Edwards. And there are flags again on the play.
And you see Bruce Smith doing some pointing. We talked about that matchup with him and Jamie Brown on that left side.
Start offense, number 82, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Irv Smith, the tight end, the guilty party. And it's 2 plays, 2 penalties for the 49ers.
And now they're going to begin to hear some noise backed up in this end of the stadium. And that's even the open end by that tunnel. It can't get as loud there as it can get on the other end.
Chad Pan checks in as it's a 2 tight end formation. Garrison Hurst in the backfield in his own end zone. Hurst will take it off the right side. He goes nowhere. Bruce Smith makes the stop. Let's look at that Buffalo defense led by Bruce Smith, a 10-time All-Pro player. Probably one of the best pass rushing ends in football. Ted Washington and Sean Price inside. Phil Hansen, the other defensive end. The linebackers, Sam Rogers, John Holosek, and Gabe Northern. The secondary for the Buffalo Bills, Thomas Smith and Ken Urban at the corners. Henry Jones and Kurt Schultz are the safeties. It'll be 2nd and 15 for the 49ers from their own 5-yard line. Young will throw. Looks like
they're going to call him on the cutoff.
They're going to call it Ken Urban working on Jerry Rice.
That's what I was talking about. That's the new rule. And whenever you run through a receiver, they're definitely going to call that. But that time it looked like Ken Urban cut off Jerry Rice coming inside on the slant. If it holds up, they're talking about it.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. Pass interference. Defense. Penalties are offset. Replay the down. Second
Offsetting
down.
penalties. Ray Brown, the holding.
Now watch Bruce Smith. He works inside on Ray Brown, and there's a hold.
That's a hug.
Hurt knee or not, Bruce Smith got inside on Big Ray Brown. And now here's the cutoff. Watch the angle Urban takes right here. That is illegal this year, to cut off the receiver. Jerry Rice knows it, puts his arms up immediately. Good call by the officials.
So it'll be a replay of 2nd and 15. 3 wide receivers in the ball game.
This is getting to be like Groundhog Day here. They keep replaying and replaying.
And this will be Chuck Levy off the right side. Nowhere to go. Ted Washington and Phil Hansen combined for the stop, bringing up a 3rd down and long for the 49er offense.
49ers haven't quite been able to get into their mix here. Usually on their first drive, they have their famous 15-play script. You see Steve Mariucci there reading off of it. And during that script, they have a ton of formation adjustments and personnel that goes in the game. Well, being backed up so much, they're inside the 10, they haven't been able to get to that yet.
The field position took them out of it. 3rd down and 12 from their own 8-yard line. Garrison Hurst set in the backfield. A 3 wide receiver set, and Young will throw the screen to Hurst. He's got some room on the outside. Shakes 1 tackle, cuts back inside. He's close to first down yardage before he is brought down by Marlo Perry. He's going to be short, and the Niners will have to punt this away.
The penalties help the Bills back here, along with the first penalty off the kickoff, along with the fact that it slowed down the tempo for the 49ers. 49ers want to come out in that first drive and bam, 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 run plays. They were never able to get into that rhythm.
Reggie Roby set the punt, averaged 46 yards last week. He'll kick it deep to Kevin Williams. And it's a liner.
He might have to take this one.
Williams on the bounce, sidesteps a man, and he'll go out of bounds at the Buffalo 46-yard line. That's where the Bills will take over with a 3-0 lead when we return.
This is the last punt play. Watch what happens at the bottom here to Curtis Buckley, the gunner on the special teams play. Now, you want to be in NFL and play special teams. There's hazards on the sideline as well.
I don't know.
You got to wear a mouthpiece on the sidelines these days.
I'm telling you, it's dangerous over there. 1st and 10 for Buffalo from the 42. Johnson hands it to Antoine Smith. Junior Bryant there for the immediate tackle in the backfield. A loss of 2.
Yeah, big plays have to be in your repertoire when you play the 49ers because they are so solid up front. Now, we've seen a couple plays, a sack already by that man, Junior Bryant. But don't forget about the guy next to him, 97, Bryant Young. I mean, he is a beast as well.
2nd down and 12 for the Buffalo Bills. Johnson to throw. Looking outside. He's got Eric Moulds for a pickup of 8. Let's now return to James Brown in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for an NFL update.
Ray and Ron, Atlanta trying to become a better first half team than second half. Start on the good foot here. Opening kickoff. Tim Dwight high steps into the end zone 93 yards later. Falcons now on top 13-0 over the Carolina Panthers. Back to Ray and Ron.
Thank you, JP. A good start for the Falcons, who got beat up by this 49er team last week. 3rd down and 4. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. They'll throw underneath to the tight end Remersma. Remersma close to first down yardage before Lee Woodall puts a hit on him. It just depends on where they mark it.
From the way he fell, it almost looks like it's a little short. They're going to have to measure that. But you can see right off the bat, and that's one thing that Rob Johnson talked about during the bye week. I got to get the ball out of my hands faster. You know, yeah, 22 sacks, that's nothing to laugh at. I mean, that's serious business for your offensive line to take care of. But by holding the ball, he's made matters worse.
And a lot of those, he's scrambling around, gets just out of bounds, and no gain. They still call it a sack, and the Bills will be about 5 lengths short.
This is a tough decision.
You know what the crowd wants.
For Wade Phillips. I think you have to go for it. You're on the other side of the 50, and you're playing the 49ers. You're 0-3. You know, you don't exactly come into this game with the longest stick. You got to make something happen. You got to do anything you can to take them out of their rhythm.
Buffalo 1 for 1 in 4th down tries so far this season. Sam Gash and Antoine Smith in the backfield. Gash, a heck of a blocker.
Dropped the ball.
Fumbled the football on a snap and couldn't get the push.
I don't know.
Mark it. He may have gotten the push. Bryant Young in there pushing for the 49ers with the tackle.
He lost that ball at the snap. By the time he got it back, I don't know if he was able to get himself in position to just get the few inches.
The surge seemed to be stopped after he dropped the football.
Watch inside. Watch Johnson. Watch right now. The ball's out. See, he doesn't have that ball secured. He picks it up. Boy, that's close.
Simple as playing football, the quarterback sneak. You got to be able to execute that.
The simplest and often most dramatic. I don't think he got it.
Merton Hanks is waving on the offense for the 49ers. He doesn't think they've got it either.
You know, he would have had to move beyond the center, and it didn't look like he moved anywhere near the center.
I believe he would have had it had he controlled the football on the snap.
Those are the type of things that have made life hard for the Buffalo Bills here.
He lost yardage.
And those are the type of things that make you and keep you 0-3.
A big defensive stop for the 49ers. They'll have the football in good field position, trailing 3-0 in Buffalo. Penetration from Bryant Young stops Rob Johnson on a 4th and 5 chain links to go. And the 49ers take over. Excellent penetration by Bryant Young and Junior Bryant.
Yes, it was. And you could tell they knew what was coming, the way they were hunkered down in there. They were ready for the quarterback sneak. And now you're giving Steve Young great field position.
Young on first down, throws it outside to Jerry Rice. Henry Jones comes up with good coverage, incomplete.
What you do here is you put a huge onus now on your defense. And you give the 49ers an offense that's been functioning at such a high level the last 3 weeks, and you give them the ball at midfield. So now you're saying to your defense, all right, this is as good as you're going to play all year. Play it right now.
Could be a huge turning point, although it is early in the ball game. 2nd down and 10 for Young. He'll hand to Hurst. Hurst shakes one tackle. He picks up 4 yards on the right side before Bruce Smith and John Holisek bring him down.
Let's watch how the 49ers are going to handle Bruce Smith. Now, he's worked inside on Ray Brown a couple times, but that's just a form of a double. He attacked Brown, but they brought Jamie Brown right out on him, and Jamie Brown is a huge man. That's one thing Bruce Smith told me the other day. He said, I don't know much about him. I dug up some film from Denver, but I know one thing. He is a big, big boy.
6'8", 318 pounds. It'll be 3rd and 5. Young looking for Rice. He'll scramble and slide, and their flag comes out. as Young is brought down by Marlo Perry and Kurt Schultz short of first down yardage. And Young's going to say Rice is going to say he was held. Thomas Smith working on him on the right side, and Dick Hantak agrees with Jerry Rice.
And the one advantage Steve said to having a new left tackle being that he's left-handed, his blind side.
Defense, number 28, 5 yards, first down.
His blind side is to the right, so he can see where Bruce Smith is on the rollout. But here's the holding penalty. Working on Thomas Smith, and Thomas Smith says he's not afraid of anybody, but Jerry Rice, he had to grab him a little bit that play.
I think his heart would beat a little faster with Mr. Rice over top of him.
We'd love to have an EKG in their heart when you line up across number 80.
Little stress test.
Coming off an injury or not, he can still make it happen.
First and 10 for the 49ers at the Buffalo 37-yard line. They come out with 2 tight ends. This will be Rice in motion. Young on play action. Pressure's on. Gabe Northern got him for a sack.
I don't know if Steve Young had any place to throw the ball, and one thing the Bills wanted to do was stay very vanilla. They didn't want to do a whole lot. And you can see Rice working up the middle of the field, and Schultz is coming right to him. He doesn't have a place to go with the football. Now here's Terrell Owens, and Thomas Smith is all over him with a safety inside that you can't see. Gabe Northern works outside and just gets a great push on the tight end, Chad Fan, looks like, and he's got no place to go with the ball.
Second and 11. Young looking quick. Throws a slant, and it's intercepted. This is Ray Jackson. Up the sidelines, forced out of bounds. A huge play for the Buffalo defense. A 25-yard return of an interception for Ray Jackson, a third-year man out of Colorado State.
The mistake the Falcons made last week in the opening drive, the first quarter, they tried to get too fancy, too many double coverages, instead of playing just base defense. And that's what the Bills are doing.
The Bills take over at midfield. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. By Nike. And by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
A Ray Jackson interception sets up the Buffalo Bills first and 10 at the 50-yard line. Johnson will throw on first down, trying to hit Eric Moulds. Antonio Langan with excellent coverage. Let's go back to that interception.
Henry Jones right here. He's going to work and put the double inside on Jerry Rice. I think this one is on Steve Young. He doesn't read that double. He just throws thinking the slant's there. And the only person that's there is Ray Jackson. And the Bills have 6 defensive backs in the game to match up with the 49ers' 3 wide receiver personnel. And it's really a simple thing, just doubles on the outside men.
Second and 10, the Bills will run the trap play. Panos pulls in front of Antoine Smith. Not much room in the middle. He'll pick up 2 yards.
Now, those are the kind of plays on defense the Bills need if they want to win this game. Not only have they had the big play on offense, but the defense put in a really tough position.
Right.
We said that earlier. Giving the 49ers the ball, the highest producing offense in the NFL right now, at the 50-yard line. And to come off that field with the interception is a huge, huge momentum builder.
The Niners offense averaging 533 yards a game coming in. Each game over 500 yards. But the Bills offense now at 3rd down and 9. And Rob Johnson's going to have to take a timeout. Ran out of time on the play clock. And we will take a break. The Buffalo Bills have a 3-0 lead over the San Francisco 49ers. It's a beautiful day in western New York. The Buffalo Bills taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Buffalo with an early 3-0 lead. They have the football, 3rd down and 8 from the 49er 48. Thurman Thomas in the backfield, 3 wide receivers for Rob Johnson. Pressure's on. He's going to be sacked by Barker again. along with Bryant Young, both of them getting in there and sacking the Bills quarterback. We've seen a lot of that this year in Buffalo.
Yeah, and once again, the inside pressure is what makes Johnson have to pull it down first. Bryant Young loops all the way around from the outside and causes everything to stop up for the Bills inside. And that's the kind, you talk about impact guys. Without a doubt, I think Bryant Young playing the best football of any defensive tackle in the NFL.
Chris Moore will punt it away to R.W. McQuarters. McQuarters, fair catch signal at the 12-yard line. Tuesday, it's a huge night on Fox. The King of the Hill reveals a shocking secret. Then Sue takes Road Rage to a new level on Costello, followed by Guinness World Record Primetime. It's a night of all new episodes, Tuesday, starting at 8, 7 Central.
I've often thought about getting a tattoo, but that was something else.
Yes. You know what? I have never thought about getting a tattoo.
Well, you're a tattoo kind of guy.
You'd think I am, but I'm really not. I'm a very conservative Midwestern kind of guy.
Okay.
But I can see you, that L.A. cool. Well, first down, the 49ers will run Garrison Hurst looking for room outside. Hurst will be wrestled to the turf by Ken Irvin.
Garrison Hurst on the right side. Ken Irvin and Henry Jones.
The 49ers have been an offensive machine so far this year. Look at these stats they've rang up along with points, rushing out to a 3-0 record.
And in each game, one thing is similar. They start out fast. And by the time the second quarter rolls around, they get the big plays and they're starting to roll on people. That hasn't happened so far today.
On 2nd and 4, they'll run the count. It's Garrison Hurst. John Holisek and Sam Rogers combined to stop him for little or no gain.
Holisek making a nice play. You know, he's actually stepping in for Chris Spielman, who's decided to take this year off and be with his wife, who's battling cancer. And of course, all of us here at Fox wish them the best in that battle.
Do. A great family.
But you look around, and in fact, there's Spielman right there. You look around, and you don't see that core of guys that once was there. And this is a huge third down for the 49ers.
Third down and 3. Owens in motion. Bruce Smith with an early start. We'll see who they call it on, working on Jamie Brown.
False start. Offense, 72.
And
5 yards
Jamie
penalty.
Brown.
Still third.
And that's one of the things they were concerned about, the Niners coming in. This crowd noise, particularly when you're down in that end zone area, it can get loud.
Now watch Jamie Brown right here. He knows he's got Bruce Smith, regardless of knee injury or no knee injury. He knows he's still Bruce. And Bruce got fired up at some of Bob McKittrick, the offensive lineman coach for the 49ers, comments in the paper saying that, well, Bruce isn't the same Bruce. You know, talking to Bruce on the sideline the other day of practice, he was kind of down about his knee, but talking to him the day before the game, he was a totally different person.
The incendiary McKittrick lighting a fire under Smith. Young scrambles, and he'll run this one. And he'll get first down yardage. The dangerous Steve Young running out of the backfield. It'll be 1st and 10, a 12-yard pickup for Steve Young.
Yeah, and Steve Young has talked about, as we look at Wade Phillips there, you get everybody covered, and then the quarterback takes off and runs. But you talk about as you get older, you get a little smarter. And he's gotten a little smarter in terms of not quite taking all those hits. Because everybody in this organization knows when he takes the hits, now you're really
Gets scary,
and you're putting the offense in jeopardy. So he's learned to jump out of bounds, maybe get on the ground a little faster than normal.
Garrison Hurst on first down. And the Bills defense.
Ball's out.
The ball is out. Buffalo has it. Recovered by Ken Irvin. I'm sorry, Thomas Smith on the recovery for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's just sloppy football there by the 49ers, who usually take care of ball and always preach the fundamental things like ball security. I mean, they come into this game a +5 turnover ratio. That's 3rd in the NFC. They just don't give it up. Looked like Henry Jones jumped in there, got a little bit of the rake.
I think it was Phil Hansen punching the ball out. And then it's loose on the ground. And Thomas Smith hops on it, and Buffalo, with the second forced turnover against San Francisco, has the football on the 30-yard line. Rob Johnson puts Remersma in motion. He'll throw on first down over the middle. He's got a wide open Kevin Williams. Williams up past the 20, down to the 15-yard line before he's forced out of bounds by Tim McDonald to pick up a 15.
And it's one thing to get the turnover, but what Buffalo hasn't been able to do when they've gotten them is turn them into points. And you can see there the 49er turnover margin. I mean, you go from +5 coming into this game, which is a huge reason along with great offense that you're doing so well. And now today, they're in the -2.
And the 49ers 72-1 when they win the turnover battle in their last 73 games.
That's unbelievable.
It is. 1st and 10. It'll be Antoine Smith trying the middle of the line. Not a lot of room there.
Antoine Smith, part of that platoon of backs. Thurman Thomas, the guy who's held the position here at running back for so many years through the Super Bowls, has pretty much conceded to be the backup. However, he says he likes
yards per carry here in the friendly confines in Buffalo. On the road, just 2.7 per carry. 2nd down and 8. They'll pitch it out to Smith. He's got room outside. Phoenix throws a block. The Niners close with good pursuit. It's Lee Woodall on the stop.
Nothing like the 49er team speed on defense. And with the addition of Winfred Tubbs, that linebacking core is just plain solid and fast. They can run to you. When they get to you, they've got a bad attitude. Merton Hanks chasing from the outside in. Darnell Walker, he comes up and makes the play. And Darnell Walker is probably going to stay on the field as a corner when Marquez Pope gets healthy, because he's playing great football.
Came over from Atlanta and has done an excellent job. 3rd down for the Bills. 7 to go from the 12-yard line. Johnson runs out of time. He's being chased down. He lets it go into the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Eric Moulds, but the flag flies.
Right.
He's looking for Quinn Early. And I think Antonio Langham got there early.
Holding. Defense, number 43.
That'll be an automatic 1st down
penalty
for the Buffalo Bills.
1st down.
Langham has had his problems at that corner position now, and the Buffalo Bills know that. They've made it a point this game to try to do some things to take advantage of that, and there's an example right there. Now Early and Langham are in the back of the end zone. They're going to be to the left. And that's after the contact that was supposedly made by Langham.
1st and goal for Buffalo from the 7-yard line. Sam Gash in motion. Antoine Smith bounces it outside. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Antoine Smith said, "I'm not happy with the way I'm running. I'm not running strong enough. I'm not running hard enough. If I don't truck a couple guys in the game, I'm not happy." Well, that time he used the strength and he trucked his way on into the end zone.
Steve Christie to add the extra point. It is up and it is good. And there's a little wrestling match on the field.
Oh, that's one of your old skirmishes there.
Hey, after point time, that's tee-off time.
That's tee-off time.
Looks like Junior Bryant and
Mark Pike
are going at it a little bit. Mark Pike seeing his first action, tore a bicep.
They're going to work right off Reuben Brown over here, the guard on the left side. And this is just a good effort by Antoine Smith. You see, he's got to go man up, and Merton Hanks has got to come down and make that tackle. And I do not envy Merton Hanks, because Antoine Smith is a load at 6'3", 224. Merton has just got to try to hold him one-on-one. He needs more help from his boys. You're not going to win that one. That's a tough one. And Merton can bring it as well as anybody. You see Thurman Thomas, that's the role he said he loves, is getting Antoine Smith fired up. He said they work so well together. Antoine said he's learned so much from Thurman. And in spite of what the media in Buffalo here has said about Thurman Thomas not liking the role as the backup, you can see there's no problem with the role.
Thurman Thomas loves Antoine Smith. He says some of these young guys won't listen to you. One who does is Antoine Smith. Uncharacteristic mistakes from the 49ers.
Well, that was the only thing that Mariucci was worried about when we talked to him the other day. turnovers, penalties, the mistakes. I'm worried about the left tackle position, he said, but if we have the mistakes in this type of setting, it could hurt us.
The Bills have made mistakes up until this week. They've played nearly flawless here in the first quarter. Steve Christie will hit it deep. It's Chuck Levy and R.W. McQuarters, and this will be McQuarters. McQuarters with a seam. He's got some room. He's still alive up to the 35-yard line. And the ball comes out late. And they're going to give it to Buffalo. Another turnover. Sam Cowart making the special teams hit.
And you know it's a wrestling match for that ball now.
Oh, it gets nasty under there, doesn't it? They're still fighting for it. And that is Camille Loud, the rookie wide receiver that recovers the fumble for the Buffalo Bills. Sam Cowart's got a hold of him. Manny Martin comes and cleans it up.
Now Cowart, the ball had to be out before the body slam there, because the ground couldn't cause that fumble. Right here you see Cowart, he's working with him. Oh no, the hit right there.
Yeah, Manny Martin.
Manny Martin comes with the helmet hit.
And Buffalo will take over on the 35-yard line of the 49ers with a 10-0 lead. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Thomas, his first carry, shakes one man, but then is hit by the safety, McDonald.
Oh, and they're going to contest that one. That was a late hit. I mean, Thurman Thomas clearly slammed to the ground. And that's a big 15er.
And the 49ers are unraveling.
Defense, number 46, slamming the man to the ground. 15 yards, first down.
The Bills have been criticized the last 3 weeks for not having the enthusiasm, the energy, and that winning attitude that they've held up here all through the 90s. But I'm going to tell you, today, thus far, you look at Wade Phillips there, that attitude is here. And they've gotten it with the help of some 49er mistakes and miscues. The penalties, again, killing the 49ers. Very, very unlike 49er football.
And then the turnovers. Throw them on top, and you've got problems. And this has been the way the Bills have been playing football.
And Ray, you know this is not the place that you get behind and come back and do well. I mean, this is a very loud, intimidating place, and it's going to get louder and more intimidating as things continue to go well for the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo will take over 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line after the penalty. They've got 3 wideouts and Thurman Thomas in the backfield. They'll pitch it outside to Thomas. He gets a block from Feenan. He'll pick up excellent yardage down to the 12-yard line. A 6-yard gain for Thurman Thomas, brought down by Zach Bronson.
49ers can't make the mistake of thinking that man right there is old and can't do it anymore, because Thurman Thomas can do it. He can still burst through the hole. He can still hurt you running the football.
And Thurman Thomas gets the crowd excited. 2nd down and 4 now for the Bills at the 49er 12-yard line. Sam Gash and Antoine Smith in the backfield. Gash in motion. And they give it to Smith. And he powers his way down to the 5-yard line for a first down. And that will be the end of the first quarter with a score. The Buffalo Bills 10, the San Francisco 49ers 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. The Buffalo Bills in the red zone 7 times this year, 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal. They're 1st and goal from the 6. 2 tight ends in the ball game. They'll pitch it outside to Antoine Smith. He follows Sam Gash. Smith with no room on the outside. He's forced out of bounds after a pickup of one. Winfred Tubbs on the play.
Now, another thing that's been able to help the Bills outside of the mistakes from the 49ers, the offensive coordinator, Joe Pendry, was with the Carolina Panthers. There he is. He was with the Carolina Panthers in '96 when the team went 12-4 and beat the 49ers twice that year. He has a very good feel of how to get to this team and how to work this team. And one thing he said is you got to get them early, and they got them early with the big plays in the first series.
2nd and goal from the 5. Johnson throwing it up top outside. Touchdown, Buffalo. That's Quinn Early on the reception from Rob Johnson.
And it's the continuation of the turnovers, the good field position, and Buffalo is taking advantage of the turnovers and turning it into points. Just a fade route. Johnson has got to throw it right over the head of Langham, and it's all timing. What a throw. What a catch.
Right through Langham's hands.
Through Langham's hands. And poor Antonio Langham, he has been snake bit as a corner with the 49ers thus far.
Steve Christie converts the extra point. Buffalo goes up 17-0 here early in the 2nd quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Burger King. If you ask us, it just tastes better. By UPS, moving at the speed of business. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
Quinn Early, the recipient of a Rob Johnson touchdown pass. The Bills out to a 17-0 lead, a 5-play, 35-yard drive. Christie will kick it deep to McCorders and Levy.
And it is a kick.
This will be Chuck Levy, and he'll have to down it 5 yards deep in the end zone. The difference in the game has been miscues by the 49ers.
Right, and I thought this one was Steve Young. He didn't read the coverage well and threw it in a very bad spot. Right here, just a fumble by Garrison Hurst. The rake job coming from the other side by Phil Hansen. And then the kickoff. Nothing in the NFL will get you beat faster, and this game is a prime example so far than the turnover.
49er offense in business from the 20-yard line. They'll get off Garrison Hurst, and the Bills defense doesn't let him get anywhere. John Holisek, the linebacker, comes up with a stop.
Now that's the 49ers' 13th offensive play. They work off that famous 15-play script. During that script, they use all the adjustments and formations to get an idea what the defense is going to do. Well, because of all the turnovers, they're not through the script yet.
And the poor field position.
Right, and the poor field position, Steve Mariucci and the rest of the 49ers, they don't really have an idea of what the Bills are planning to do against them.
2nd and 9. Young with plenty of time. Throws it outside. He's got Terrell Owens. Thomas Smith on the coverage. Owens picks up 1st down yardage.
And there's an idea right there. Young doing what he does so well, reloading. Not too many quarterbacks in the league can do that. And if I'm Rob Johnson, I'm getting up off the bench, and I'm going to watch this guy. Because nobody sees the field better, except for that one play in the 1st quarter, than Steve Young. And that was a good example of it right there. And, of course, time from your offensive line helps.
1st and 10 from the 31. Young hands it inside to Hurst. Phil Hansen makes the stop. Jerry Rice has been shut out so far today.
Yeah, and they've effectively put the double team on him at the right time. One thing Wade Phillips said, that when I played against the 49ers as a defensive coordinator, we had to mix things up. You have to show them something different, because if you don't, they'll shoot holes in you. That one double coverage they used against Jerry on interception was something a little different they hadn't shown before.
2nd down and 9. Rice in motion. Young on a bootleg. He has Irv Smith, his tight end. Henry Jones there on the coverage and the tackle. It'll be a pickup of 6 yards, bringing up a 3rd and short for the 49ers.
Ted Cottrell, the Bills defensive coordinator, says, I don't mind the catch. This offense is so efficient and gets so many men out in the route. But what I want is the catch and the tackle like that play right there, forcing the 3rd and hopefully more than 4 yards.
The Bills shuffle in their dime defense as the Niners go to their 4 wide receiver package. Young with pressure. Overthrows his receiver, Irv Smith. Marlo Perry, I'm sorry, it's Chuck Levy. Marlo Perry on the coverage. Bruce Smith with the pressure.
Yeah, he had the pressure, and watch the swim move inside. Working on Jamie Brown right here. Step outside, boom, arm over. That is classic Bruce Smith. Don't believe the hype about the hurt knee. Because when it's game time and he's fired up about the comments made, that's the kind of thing he's going to do and forces Steve Young just to pull the trigger maybe a hair early.
Low snap from Randy Kirk. Reggie Roby gets away another poor punt. And a daring Kevin Williams will field it, saving the Bills yardage. They'll take over on the 27-yard line. They have a 17-0 lead with 11:48 left in the first half. Rob Johnson, 6 of 7 for 88 yards and the touchdown to Quinn Early as Buffalo has jumped out to a 17-0 second quarter lead. They have the football at the 27-yard line, first down and 10. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for Johnson. The Niners showing blitz and blitzing. It's picked up. Johnson with plenty of time. He's going downtown again. Looking for Kevin Williams. He's got it. Williams stepped out of bounds at the 26-yard line, but not until it's another huge play for the Buffalo Bills.
And once again, they're working on that right side, the left cornerback position, Antonio Langham. The blitz comes, or they fake it, but the protection is solid. Look at the pocket that Rob Johnson's got to throw, and the out and up. They get Antonio Langham. He's close, but it's a perfect throw.
A 46-yard hookup.
And that's one thing we said that Rob Johnson can do. He's got the tools. He can make the throws, given the time.
Kevin Williams came into today's game with just 1 catch and 1 run for 28 yards. A big part of the offense with Andre Reed out. First and 10. They'll hand it to Sam Gash. Gash with no room picks up maybe 2 in the middle. Brenson Buckner with the stop. Yeah, there's baseball going on right now. Tonight it's game 4 of the National League Division Series. A pair of lefties taking the mound. Randy Johnson for the Astros and Sterling Hitchcock for the Padres. San Diego with a 2-1 series lead. But last night it was Jim Leyritz, that 7th inning solo shot to put the Padres over the hump. So tune in tonight following football at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. Check out some excellent playoff baseball. 2nd down and 8 for the Buffalo Bills. Johnson will throw. He's looking for the post to Eric Moles, but great coverage. Boy, that was almost picked off. It was Merton Hanks and Darnell Walker on the coverage.
Yeah, those are the kind of throws that Rob Johnson isn't good enough to make right now. Merton Hanks from the safety position, who has the speed of a corner because he was a corner and still plays it at times, came down from the safety and almost made a great play. But the coverage starts with Darnell Walker. I mean, he's right there. He should have had the interception. 2 guys should have had it.
Brings up a 3rd down now and 7 for Buffalo. Niners will blitz. Johnson running for his life. He gets slammed from the backside.
Merton
Hanks on a safety blitz did not get picked up, and he just smashed Rob Johnson.
John Marshall, the 49er defensive coordinator, said, I got to make things happen. He's coming from the inside, right on the outside. They're lined up in the corner position like we just talked about. Never saw him coming, never expected to see him coming. And what he does is he pushes this ball way back for the field goal.
Steve Christie, a 51-yard attempt. He's been good from 59 in his career. And this will be no good.
I'm not sure that ball didn't get tipped on the way out.
It came out kind of funny.
Bryant Young has already gotten 1 partial block.
So the 49ers will take over on the 40-yard line. When we return, they trail 17-0. Steve Mariucci doing the mariachi after that missed field goal from Steve Christie. Hit the upright, and that could be a big break for the 49ers.
Oh, that's huge, because the 49ers are not a team to get out of their game plan. But last time they trailed, It's been a while, as you can see.
It's 96.
And had the Bills scored there, they might have had to start thinking about doing some things different. But as long as you got number 8 in your backfield, you don't change anything. You stick with the plan.
1st and 10 from the 41. Young will throw. And he's got Jerry Rice. Rice is on the board. First catch today. He's working on Ken Urban. He'll pick up 10 yards, only close to first down yardage.
Some interesting things for Jerry Rice. This is his first game in this stadium here in Buffalo. First time for Steve Young here. And this place is filled up. A little difference with the noise. Also the last time that Jerry Rice faced the Bills, he got knocked unconscious. So he's had a couple rough ones against the Bills in terms of that.
First down and 10. Young on play action. And he'll throw this one inside. He's got J.J. Stokes. And Young begins to heat up. Stokes working on Ken Urban. He'll pick up another first down.
And in order for him to heat up, they've got to solve this situation with Bruce Smith. And a nice punch there by Jamie Brown, but then he lets him go late. But the initial punch holds him. And this is just J.J. Stokes working inside and the timing of the throw. Very nice.
This will be Hurst on first down. He'll pick up 5 down to the 31-yard line. Brought down by John Holisek and Gabe Northern.
And the 49ers are confident they can do a lot of things just with their formations to keep Bruce Smith off of Steve Young. And he was just complaining on that last play about a face mask.
He was right.
Yeah. Jamie got a little to put the hands back.
2nd down and 5. The Niners will run it out to the right side. Garrison Hurst gets nothing. Sam Cowart, the rookie linebacker, makes the stop. Cowart, the first selection for the Bills this year, a number 2 pick out of Florida State.
And what all these penalties and turnovers have done for the 49ers, you can see the tip stuff together and start rolling again.
A big 3rd down, 3rd and 4 from the Buffalo 30. 3 wide out. Irv Smith switches sides. Young will throw. He pumps. Now the pressure's on and he'll be sacked. Phil Hansen got him.
And that right there is a coverage sack and a regular sack. Steve Young had no place to go with the ball, and he couldn't even run out of the pocket. I mean, across the board, these guys are locked up. There's Jerry Rice right there, Garrison Hurst. A little hole there by Urban, but that is just perfect man-to-man coverage down the field.
Wade Ritchie, his longest field goal of the year, a 31-yarder. This will be from 48. He's got the distance.
It's drifting.
But it is no good. Wide left from Wade Ritchie. Now just 3 of 6 on the year in field goals. And the Niners stay scoreless. It's Buffalo 17, San Francisco nothing. Wade Phillips doing his version of the mariachi on the other sideline.
Wade Phillips getting fired up. Hey, he's had to come into a difficult situation here. Not only change your quarterback from last year having to go through Todd Collins, but this team has gone through 3 different offensive coordinators in the last 3 years.
You saw the yardage disparity last week against Atlanta. The Niners had 394 yards in the first half, just 89 today. It's Buffalo's ball, first down and 10. Moulds in motion.
Donald.
They'll hand it off to Antoine Smith. What if Smith's going to lose yardage?
Yeah, give that credit to Tim McDonald coming down from the safety position. That is the advantage of being able to come and play 8 men on the line of scrimmage. And you have to take a gamble. 49ers got tagged early on with a deep pass. So when you bring that 8th man up, you're saying outside of the corners, you guys got man-to-man, and they've been stung by that. But you're down 17-0 defensively. They feel like they have to make something happen.
Right, they have to force a turnover, make a play to get back into it. And Rob Johnson will take a timeout to get his house in order.
And look how much time Steve Young, Jerry Rice, how much time they've been off the field.
Right.
That's the thing that stands out in my mind. I mean, the more they play, they get better. But they're cold now.
Let's go back in time. Who's that guy? That's a football player right there, I'll tell you that. That number 50 with the Buffalo Bills.
That's when men were men, right?
Yeah.
Look at that hairdo.
Oh, look at this guy. Now, this is how you return a punt. I think I had the key block in this one that sprung you, and I never really got my due on this.
All right, I'll tell you, I'll give you your due right now.
All right, thank you.
Of course, it helps when the punter is punting, out of his own end zone.
Yeah, I have to take credit for that, too. I think they made the stop.
He did a good job, though. Yeah, what was with that, the eye black? You used to go a little crazy on that.
Yeah, that's an old thing. I started doing that in high school. With the Alice Cooper eye black, you get your game face on and you get ready to tear it loose.
Where else would you rather be, they say, right?
That's right. Second down.
Here comes again.
The blitz comes. They'll try to dump it off to Thurman Thomas on the screen, but it is smelled out by Junior Bryant. We'll call it a gain of 1. Actually, no gain.
This time, McDonald came from up top. He held it and snuck down real late and got the blitz. And that's a change up from standing on the line of scrimmage. And the Bills did pick it up. And that's what they've had problems with. Now, Thurman Thomas stayed in the check, but they have had serious problem inside blitz pickup. You will see more of that from the 49ers as this game goes on.
Nice play by Junior Bryant, weaving through the traffic for the stop. Johnson will throw on 3rd and 12. He'll run. He'll scramble. He just voids Lee Woodall and tries to stretch it out for the first down, but he will not get it. He'll come up a couple yards short.
And Ray, you talked about Woodall's play. I mean, there's a guy that is just always solid and often overlooked. I mean, He's got the Pro Bowls, but he's just always there, always making the plays. And as you can see, spends a little bit of time in the weight room on them guns.
He looks like an action figure. Lee Woodall, the speed that he brings to the field, it really enables him to make all kinds of plays all over sideline to sideline. Chris Moore set to bang this one away. R.W. McQuarters will return. And he'll let it bounce, and it'll go into the end zone. A touchback for Chris Moore. San Francisco will take over on the 20-yard line. What do they have to do to get this offense going?
They need some big plays. I mean, it's clear that the Bills are really confident in what they've been running with the help with all the mistakes, but they're not trying to be fancy. They're running base stuff. Just some base cover 2s, some base cover 3s, and they showed them a different wrinkle when it came time for double coverage. Something the 49ers haven't seen, and it paid off.
Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, put an excellent plan together.
And his whole thing on the passes. I don't mind the catches. It's hard to stop, but we got to have the tackle immediately.
Stop the yak.
Yeah, the yak. The yards after the catch is what kills people.
4 wideouts on first down. Young with time. Throws it out to Garrison Hurst. Hurst one-on-one with Northern. He'll pick up 7 yards before he's brought down by Gabe Northern.
Still nothing down the field for Steve Young. This is where he wanted to go. He wanted to work to this side. You see Schultz working, and they got Jerry Rice double. And you can expect that all day long. Don't expect for him to start looking. As we look at the last couple possessions, last 5 possessions, obviously not good.
Garrison Hurst on 2nd and 2 will pick up about 1.5. He'll be short of the first down. Brought down by Ted Washington in the middle of that Bills line. Washington is the middle of the Bills line. 6'4". They say 325. I'm wondering which leg they weighed.
You look at the Bills, and you see in the linebacker core, you don't recognize any names.
Right.
You know, Sam Rogers is there, but Holisek, that's a new name. Gabe Northern, just in his 3rd year. You have to wonder who these guys are. Where do they come from?
3rd down and 1. Hurst with first down yardage. Ted Washington again on the stop.
1-yard gain. First down for the 49ers.
Just the 5th first down of the day for the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, that's usually their output in the first drive.
Yeah, right.
First down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Holisek blitz up the middle.
Jerry Rice looked like he moved a little early.
No play. Flag is out.
And if I'm not mistaken, he did that last game.
Still first down.
A mistake from one of the 49er veterans will put them back 1st and 15. The penalties again have been a thorn in the side of this 49er offense.
And it's so unusual to see this offense on the other side, as they call the minus side of the 50. I mean, they're working real hard just to get to the 50-yard line.
1st and 15. Rice in motion. Young to throw. He throws a little behind Terrell Owens, and it's incomplete.
The 49er rhythm is not there. The tempo is not there. And this goes back to what the Bills did on their first series, the first play from line of scrimmage. They got them deep. And they made them hold the ball. They said, we are going to control the tempo of this game. We're going to keep Steve Young and Jerry Rice off the field. And when they come back on, they're going to have to spend a few minutes to get warmed up before they can get it going again.
3 wide outs on 2nd and 15. The Bills with the dime defense. Young with time, and now he'll scramble. Bruce Smith is hot on him. Oh, he gets picked up, and now Phil Hansen will drive him out of bounds.
Boy, Chuck Levy.
I think it was Jamie Brown
came over,
came and got him.
Yeah.
Somebody got him.
Somebody came over and blasted Bruce. Now, Bruce is going to, a nice job by Jamie Brown. Here's a guy, remember, that hasn't had a live snap since last year. And the block right there, that is Levy.
You're right, it is Levy.
But once again, there's no place for Steve Young to go with the football. Ray Jackson just locking up J.J. Stokes.
It looked like Rice was open there for a second, but Young had already gone to his next read.
And don't forget, he's throwing an interception to that side, so he may be a little skittish.
3rd and 11. Young over the middle, overthrows Jerry Rice. Rice wants a holding. There is no flag.
And that ball is real high going over the middle. Those are layout balls there. You don't see Steve Young give Jerry Rice too many of those. Thurman Thomas getting fired up.
Excellent coverage, a good stand for the Bills defense, forcing the punt. Reggie Roby on. He'll kick it deep to Kevin Williams.
And as the offense continues to struggle for the 49ers, the defense has to begin to get a little demoralized. I mean, you hate to see that, and you don't let yourself get down. But when you see a high-powered offense like you've got have trouble, it makes you think.
Roby, a high spiral. Williams on the 22. He bobbles it. It's a muff. And he gets on it and recovers it at the 20-yard line. A 48-yard.
They got a flag down. Is that a flag?
Roby. It is a flag on the field.
It's a late one. Or is that just some kind of... I don't know what that thing is down there. It looks like a flag.
Well, there's a hat down on the ground, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that means usually somebody ran out of bounds and came in on the punt coverage team.
And that is a flag if I've ever seen one.
On the kicking team.
Gosh.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 28, 15 yards, first down.
Curtis Buckley.
Curtis Buckley with a little extracurricular activity.
Curtis Buckley was brought here from Tampa Bay to the 49ers because they like his enthusiasm and his aggressiveness. Now he's working right there, and they're just giving him the business.
And he gave
that shot right there.
That's one of the few times they caught the first punch.
George Stewart, the special teams coach, he said, listen, I brought you here. I can take you out of here, too. Keep your cool. Steve Mariucci walked over and said a little something to him as well. That's never good when the head coach says something to you.
That's not a good
outside
sign.
of good job. And the thing about it, I mean, they're not just getting the little penalties. They're getting the huge ones, the personal fouls, the 15ers.
78 penalty yards already, just 5 for Buffalo. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our doubleheader. The Eagles head into Mile High to take on Terrell Davis and the Broncos. Or you'll see a battle between the Giants and the Buccaneers. It's all coming up next here on Fox. The Bills coming into this one were the ones who were concerned about the penalties. Wade Phillips harped on that this week, and apparently the guys have listened. Antoine Smith dives over the middle for a gain of 1. runs out by Bryant Young.
Second down, 10.
The last time the Niners offense was shut out in the first half came last season against the Dallas Cowboys. With just 2 minutes left in this half, they're going to have to get the football back to get on the board. However, they won that game. We are down now to our 2-minute warning. The Buffalo Bills, a commanding 17-0 lead over the San Francisco 49ers.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 33.
Steve Young trying to figure out what's going on the sidelines. The Buffalo Bills have the football. 2 minutes left in the first half. They're at their own 35-yard line. And something happened to draw the 49ers off sides. Reuben Brown's pointing and dancing the other way. Dick Hantat trying to sort this out.
False start. Offense, number 72, prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Joe Panos, the guilty party, just the second penalty. Both of them 5-yarders on the Buffalo Bills this afternoon.
And that's what happens when you start to walk your people up on the line of scrimmage like the 49ers are doing. They've shown blitz the last series out, and it was effective for them. The Bills are going to see a heavy dose of that from here on in, especially if the Bills do things like that and then move early.
Thurman Thomas checks into the lineup. 3 wide receivers for the Buffalo Bills. Second down and 15. Johnson throws it. It's batted away. Bryant Young. I think he got a helmet on that one.
Bryant Young always gets something on it. I mean, whether it's a hand on a field goal or the sack or the deflection. That time he said he got the helmet on it. He's going to be coming from the inside, looping around. There he is. I think he got hit right in the face mask. I think Johnson tried to pull that one back and realized he let it go a little bit too far.
Looked like one of those longest yard plays. Johnson will throw on 3rd and 15. He's got Kevin Williams on the right side. Williams picks up first down yardage and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. The rookie R.W. McQuarters had the coverage.
Now, this is a crucial situation now for the Bills. 1 timeout left, working a 2 minute. And he's working inside on the rookie and just going to go to the out. They've got that little bit of separation. Don't forget, Williams is a veteran. He's been around. He knows how to get just enough separation, make the catch, and then very alertly getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
Williams, a 6-year man out of Miami. 1st and 10 for the Bills. Johnson will throw again. And now he'll scramble.
He's committed now.
Pick up 6 yards. Lee Woodall forces him out of bounds.
Once again, Bryant Young, the inside pressure has killed the Buffalo Bills week after week.
There is a flag on the play.
If it wasn't DeMarco Farr last time they played the Rams, now it's Bryant Young doing the honors.
Holding. Offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First
Joe
down.
Panos, his second penalty on this drive. Panos picked up in the offseason as a free agent from Philadelphia.
This is where they've had their problem, that center guard combination. Right there, you can see Joe Panos trying to just grab anything, grab cloth, slow down.
Sometimes Panos has a problem moving the feet, and then he gets turned, and then all that's left is the grab. He needs a windshield wiper. Got poked in the eye in a game last year against Arizona, and that's why he wears the shield. Rob Johnson has to take a timeout, the final timeout for the Bills in the first half, because they just weren't ready to go. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And, of course, our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats, all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
I would give anything to be a fly on the wall in the 49er locker room this halftime.
Think they're going to hear it a little bit?
I think some things will be said, if you know what I mean. And this is all, it's not like they've been outplayed per se. This is all about mistakes.
Yeah, they've beaten themselves, and that's something that you rarely associate with the San Francisco 49ers.
And then you got to give the Bills credit. They came out with a plan to assault them deep like we talked about in the open, and they did it, and it changed everything from that point on.
3 wideouts in the game for Buffalo. First down and 20. Johnson throws it outside. He's got Kevin Williams again. Williams working on the rookie McQuarters, a pickup of 10.
They need to get some urgency on the ball here. See Buffalo walking around a little bit. I think Johnson wasn't quite aware of what the situation is.
He's out of timeout.
He's out of timeouts, and he's just kind of walking around.
Second down and 10. They'll run the draw in front of Thomas. Thomas with a little a move, and the flag comes out onto the field as Thomas picks up 6.
And they got a flag down.
Holding again on the Buffalo Bills. And Joe Panos is talking to Dick Hantak, trying to make a case.
You know, sometimes it's a matter of when you're not good enough, your technique goes out of the window, and that's the only way you can make up.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard foul. Repeat the down. Second down.
They're going to have to give Joe Panos some help working on Bryant Young. That's his 3rd flag on this drive.
And by all means, he's working on somebody that can definitely play football. I mean, right here, watch Young come off the ball. And see, Panos just says, I'm going to grab you from the start. He doesn't even give Bryant Young a chance to get going. I'm not going to give you a chance.
Lonnie Johnson in motion. Rob Johnson to throw. They got the screen set up, but it's smelled out now. Rob Johnson will scramble. Oh, a little head hunting. Coming up looking for him was Lance Schulters. Schulters almost took Rob Johnson's head off.
Yeah, and he's getting an earful from Jerry Ostrowski. Anytime you go to the quarterback's head like that, they're going to call you.
Well, there is a flag down.
And once
Johnson
again,
went into the slide.
Once again, that's a big penalty.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So what you've done is you've gone from the Bills being out of any kind of field position and stretched to make a first down to now they're in great field position, and now that is a very valid call.
Yeah, went for the head.
And he got the head. In today's age, maybe when we played, Ray, it was different.
Yeah,
but
that was commonplace when we played. They applauded that.
But nowadays, if you go anywhere near the quarterback's knees or head, they will pull the flag out.
So it'll be a first down and 10 from the 49er 41-yard line. Johnson will throw again, and now the flag comes out again. And it'll be illegal procedure against Buffalo. Ping pong penalties. Jerry Ostrowski.
Offense, number 60, 5 yards, still first down.
Well, it wasn't Panos that time.
See, those are the things, that's when Buffalo goes back and shows you, what they're having trouble with and why they come into this game 0-3. In spite of how well things have gone, they still continue to shoot themselves in the foot in crucial situations.
First and 15. Johnson, the blitz facing him. He'll throw it a little wide, intended for Eric Moles.
They can't pick up the heat inside when Bryant Young and Junior Bryant start to come. Even when they keep in the back, even when they have the tight end motion, they can't pick it up. And they have worked on trying to get the ball out of Rob Johnson's hands as fast as possible. But still, 97 is just too dominant inside.
Bryant Young and Junior Bryant played together at Notre Dame. Johnson on 2nd and 15. Throws it outside. He's got Quinn Early. A reception and a gain of 10. Coverage from Antonio Langham.
When you think about it, the Bills have had all their success throwing the ball on the outside corners, especially on Antonio Langham. They got the deep one early on Walker, but Langham has been the guy they've picked on since.
Clock down to 35 seconds and counting. Johnson looking for the end zone, tries to throw it up for Eric Moles. And there'll be a penalty on this one. Antonio Langham on the coverage.
Pass interference.
See, the problem is that Langham never can find the ball here. And I tell you, that's a funny call because he never actually turns around. You see the bump there.
It's like Mold.
He grabs a little right there. He's got the hands. He's grabbing him and not looking back at the ball. If he's turned and looked back at the ball, they're not going to call that. But the officials made it clear this year they are going to be much more stringent, and look at those penalty yards. That's unheard of for the 49ers.
The 49ers have 104 total yards. They have 112 penalty yards. They're -6 on the day. Johnson will throw 1st and 10. He's got it. It's complete outside. It's Quinn Early again, working on Antonio Langham.
If I'm John Marshall, a defensive coordinator, I'm going to either change up the coverage or get Antonio Langham some help. And this is one reason why they can't wait for Marquez Pope to get healthy. Everyone at first thought that Darnell Walker would be the liability. Well, it's turned out that Langham has been the liability.
And they're getting it out of bounds, stopping the clock because Buffalo has no timeouts left. And they are 2nd and short at the 7-yard line. Johnson throws it outside. Almost hooks up with Eric Moulds. Good coverage from Darnell Walker. Johnson had to throw it outside and low.
And really, when you're behind like this, you have no other choice but to go man-to-man on the outside corners because you got to get pressure inside. They need to blitz. You saw Tim McDonald in there starting to do some things. That's the only way they can make something happen here. And this has been a long 2 minutes, too. Oh, boy.
3rd down and less than 1.
There's a blitz.
The flag is out. Johnson throws into the end zone. He cannot complete it to Quinn Early.
Antonio Langham is having one of those days.
I think you've got 2 different penalties that are going to come up on this one, an early flag and a late flag. They've got offsides and pass interference. They'll take the pass interference. Antonio Langham, his 2nd infraction in this drive.
There's Langham right there, just man-to-man coverage. He's got him, no help. He panics a little bit. He takes away the end, but then he grabs the waist. Really no need for it. But that'll happen to you out there at that corner position. What did Chris Dolman say about playing against a guy who doesn't have help? Even though he's a defensive end, he said,
says when you're alone out there, it can get pretty lonely.
When you're alone out there, it can get lonely. And right about now, it's pretty lonely, I'd imagine, for Antonio Langham.
No timeouts for Buffalo. 17 seconds, 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Johnson with plenty of time. The pressure comes. He'll throw it away. Now a flag, a late hit on Rob Johnson. Roy Barker in there, and they're going to call a penalty on this.
That guy ought to work on his somersaults and learn to get his chest up. He almost had it, but his technique was wrong.
We have to apologize. We have some technical difficulties with our referee Dick Hantak's microphone.
You saw Joe Pendry there, the offensive coordinator, telling Rob Johnson what he wants done on this play. Now, if they decide to throw it, I have to believe that he's told Rob, listen, we almost have sure points down here in terms of a field goal. If you don't see what you want for a throw that thing back into the stands. But they've got big people in, Gash at fullback, Antoine Smith at running back.
And 3 tight ends, Young, Remersma, and Johnson. They called intentional grounding on Rob Johnson. They also called roughing the passer, so it was offsetting penalties. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 1 for the Bills again. And it'll be play action. Looking for Remersma, is broken up. And another flag comes out. We can't go a play without a penalty.
And they're going to bring the field goal unit on now, but you're right. I don't know if I've ever seen one like this. This many penalties.
Pass interference again on the San Francisco 49ers. That's 4 pass interference penalties in this drive. I know Joe Panos had 3 penalties on this drive, and it comes down to 6 seconds left. Buffalo not willing to chance it again. They'll bring on Steve Christie for a 19-yard field goal.
They don't like the fact that the ball hit the defender in the back of the helmet. Go for the field goal.
It's up, and it is good. And Buffalo goes out 20-0 with 3 seconds left in the first half. Take another look at that pass interference play. The Bills in a 3 tight end formation trying to leak Remersma out.
And Remersma gotten in the back of the end zone. Jeff Posey, who was a defensive end, has the coverage on the play. But yet another pass interference penalty, and I got to believe Steve Mariucci about to pull that vest over his head and go completely nuts with what he's seen in this first half. And we talked about, Ray, this being a new situation for the 49ers. The last time they played here, correct me if I'm wrong, was 83.
Yes.
That's a long time ago. In fact, they don't really see each other that much.
They played 6 times in their history.
And every time the 49ers have played the Bills, it's been a tough one for the 49ers. They had the shootout one year out there in San Francisco. The Bills won. And then the last time they played 95, Woodall had the big fumble return for the touchdown that really made the difference in the game. And here, things continue to roll the same. The Bills jumping out to this huge lead, 49ers with a ton of penalties.
In that last drive, 10 plays, a total of 8 penalties. Nonetheless, the Bills come up with a field goal, stretch their lead to 20-0. Steve Christie will hit this one away. Chuck Levy standing deep. Christie just will ground it. The return by Chad Phan. That's the end of the first half with a score. The Buffalo Bills 20, San Francisco 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue. James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Chris Collinsworth will be along for the Visa Halftime Report after these messages.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
Back here for the Visa Halftime along with Chris, Howie, and Terry. I'm James Brown. Howie Long mentioned complacency will be the only thing to stop San Francisco, along with 3 turnovers and 12 penalties, trailing Buffalo 12-20.
There you go, Jason Garrett on your left. On your right, young Trent Green for the Redskins. Pump fake, corner comes up, safety can't get over. Little play action down the sideline. Leslie Shepard hurt last year against the Cowboys, not this time. 40-yard touchdown pass, Skins up by 7. Now back, Green again. This time he has to throw the ball high because of pressure. There's Deion Sanders, makes the interception, returns 22 yards, leads to an Emmitt Smith touchdown. Dallas up by 3, 10-7. Garrett back. Post route. Hey, where's the free safety? I don't know. It's too late. Cowboys all over the Skins. First half, 17-10.
Mark Carrier of Detroit sitting out this one. That's right behind the glass in the middle there. 1-game suspension.
3rd down and 2. You always play tight coverage, but with 98 yards to go, I don't think so. Why not? Well, if you play man coverage and you blitz, where's the free safety? He's out of the middle. Corner gets beat. That's Terry Cousins in for the injured starter, Tom Carter. 98-yard touchdown pass. There you are, Johnny Morton. Lions looking good. Kramer back. Over the middle. Excellent throw and catch this time. You got it, Marcus Robinson. What was the MVP of the World League? All notch steady. Notch? Yeah, you bet. 10 all.
Curtis Enos left the game with a hamstring. Chris Chandler looking for his team to be productive in the first half. He watches him do it.
It takes young legs, and you got to be young like this young rookie out of Iowa, Tim Dwight. He takes his kickoff return, the opening kickoff. How far, Howie?
93.
There you go. You can read. That's good. Atlanta up by 7. Chandler out of the backfield. A lot of pressure. Throws across the field. Excellent throw. Excellent route. Nobody there. Tony Martin. You got it. 14-0 Atlanta. Now, Chandler out of the shotgun. This play would be illegal if he were under the center. Quarterback cannot catch a pass. He can from the shotgun position. Chandler, the guy with the headaches. The guy gets knocked out. Excellent catch. Falcons 17-3 over the visiting Carolina. Carolina Panthers.
Full of facts. Less than 100 combined yards passing.
Study, JB.
And that's when Jets on top 10-3. You obviously have studied. New England had how many turnovers in the first 3 games?
A bunch.
None. 3 in the first half. They're holding to a 3-point lead right now. Got to study, Terry. Without a doubt. Coach, holding to an 11-6 lead over there. Let's talk San Francisco and the Giants. You mentioned, Howie, that complacency would be the only thing to stop San Francisco. Penalties hurting them.
Yeah, you know, the penalties have hurt them. A Buffalo team that's fired up, and as Chris, we were talking in the first half, that's a tough place to play. And the one thing you don't do is you don't challenge a great player. And Bob McKittrick made some disparaging remarks about Bruce Smith this week. And obviously, Bruce Smith they've awoken the sleeping giant. And that's a problem.
You never did like Bob, did you?
I like Bob.
A couple of those leg lifts.
Off camera every week.
Does he really? Every week?
Off camera he does.
You know, the San Francisco 49ers, though, if they have a weakness, it's in the secondary. And we saw Buffalo come out right off the bat. Boom, 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 throwing it down the field, catching those deep balls. That's what set the tone for the whole ball game.
Yeah, you're not going to stay on a high all year long. Denver's not going to. Nobody's going. You're going to have a little collapse.
You think they're going to get their 500 yards this week?
I don't think they're going to get it today. But hey, there's the second half, and if anybody can get it, the 49ers can get it.
You are truly amazing. What was the sound effect you just did there? Unbelievable. San Francisco.
The more you can contribute to a telecast.
I locker with him here.
Visual.
I've heard that sound quite a bit.
Yeah. San Francisco is potent, capable of coming back indeed. All right, folks, the Visa halftime will continue. Howie will talk to your face on camera, though, if he's upset with you. That he will. Visa halftime continues right after this.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Tension builds for Game 4 of the NL Division Series. Down 2-1. It's do or die for Johnson and the Astros. But Leyritz and the Padres look to shoot them down and move on to the NLCS. Game 4 of the National League Division Series tonight on Fox.
Welcome back to Orchard Park, New York, where the Buffalo Bills have a 20-0 lead over the San Francisco 49ers at halftime. Time now for our weekly internet bonus question. This week's question, which team will run the football more times in the second half? To give your answer, simply log on to Fox Sports website at www.foxsports.com. I know all you net nudniks are looking forward to that. We shall return to Orchard Park for the start of the second half after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
Beautiful Niagara Falls, 30 miles north of here. The floodgates have opened for the Buffalo Bills, up 20-0 at halftime over the San Francisco 49ers. Ask the Pros is our new feature. Now for your Cyber Zone segment. Ron, this week's question comes from Sam Loeb of Wasilla, Arkansas. He wants to know, will Steve Young retire if he gets another concussion?
Well, you know, nobody really knows that except Steve Young. And one thing you do know is that he has had some, and he's never wanted to come off the field and stop playing football. The guy loves the game, and he's the type of guy that you have to say, if you're a team doctor or a coach or maybe even a concerned parent, no, you're done, and that's it, because he is not going to take himself out of the game and off the football field. And you have to admire that. The guy just loves the game.
He's a tough football player, but he's had a tough first half. Only one reception to each of his 3 top receivers, J.J. Stokes, Terrell Owens, and Jerry Rice. And then the halftime numbers tell a story as well.
I put a big circle around that penalty yardage there for the 49ers. I mean, that's almost unheard of. And then that coupled with the turnovers, that's killed them. It's almost impossible to rebound off that. And if anybody can rebound off it, the 49ers can. But think about the hole that they put themselves into. You know, they never got into that script. They were never able to get the tempo going. And they always say, if you can survive the first assault by the 49ers, you got a great chance to win the game. And that's what the Buffalo Bill coaches talked about, surviving that first assault. And they did it in a different kind of way, but they did it.
That they have. And you look at the wide receivers' numbers, 1 reception for each of these guys, and this is such a difference from the first three games for these 49ers.
Well, Steve has always preached that I want to get each guy a catch, but this is not what he had in mind.
He meant more than one to start, but more than one. We're set to start the second half. The 49ers will receive. They'll try to get something going on offense. Steve Christie kicks it deep. Actually kicks it short. And this is
That's a live ball. That's a live football.
A pooch-type kick, and it looks like there's a scramble for the ball, and they'll say the 49ers came up with it. Wow.
Boy, the 49ers just not being alert today.
Chuck Levy came up with it, looked like. It was Chuck Levy. Wow, that's you don't let a kickoff bounce around like that.
That is mental. Once this ball goes more than 10 yards, it is live. 49ers are acting up front like they don't understand that. I mean, that's just players not having their head in the game and realize they better wake up, and they got to wake up now.
Yeah.
Steve Young set to throw on first down. He'll throw it outside to his fullback. First time Mark Edwards has touched the football this afternoon. Brought down by Gabe Northern. Let's go down to the sidelines to Pam Oliver. Pam?
All right, first thing, Ray, Steve Mariucci said what his team has to do in the second half, quit the penalties, quit the turnovers, and, of course, score some points. Coming down the tunnel with the 49ers, they were not down whatsoever. Their heads were up. They were pumped up. They were giving each other a lot of high fives. This is a championship team, and I think we could see that today.
Thank you, Pam. The 49ers know they can score when they have to.
Screen.
Second down and 6. Young will throw this one away.
And they never got the screen developed.
There is a flag coming out late at near midfield. That seems to be a repetitive phrase this afternoon. Another flag on the field.
And that's a great comment there by Pam Oliver. This is a championship team. Championship teams don't panic. They know what the mistakes were, they get them corrected, and they come out and play.
The preliminary indication is that it will be against the 49ers.
But the thing is, today they haven't played championship football. And this is really the most...
Offensive pass interference. Offense. Number 82. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Irv Smith guilty of offensive pass interference.
The opening drive in the third quarter, especially if you're behind, is the most crucial drive because you've gone in, you've made the halftime adjustments. So now everybody expects things to work now. So if they don't work now you start to get guys that can possibly go in the tank.
Second and 17, another penalty on the Niners puts him in tough position. He'll throw it over the middle. Young connects with Terrell Owens for near first down yardage. Kurt Schultz on the coverage. Owens will have his second catch of the day and a first down.
I got to tell you, that's the first 49er offensive play that I think has run on speed, on tempo, and had that snap to it. Just watch. This is the slant. They've run this many, many times. The ball's there on time. The cornerback's there, makes the tackle, but just the way it was delivered and unfolded. That play was a 49er play.
Yeah, an 18-yarder, the longest reception of the day for the 49ers. They'll run Garrison Hurst up the middle and pick up 2 on first down. Ted Washington and Sean Price on the stop.
It's funny how the Bills coaching staff said that this seems like the kind of game that we need, being 0-3. And I said, what, are you crazy? Yeah. This is exactly what you don't need. And they said, nope, because we know that if this team can't get up for the 49ers, they won't be able to get up for anybody. We will find out what we have and what we're made of.
It's not over, though. Buffalo led by 18 in the first or second half last week, or their last game against St. Louis, and lost that by a point.
It's far from over.
Jamie Brown looks like he moved early.
Offense, 72. 5-yard penalty.
That's the second time
Still
Bruce
second down.
Smith has worried Mr. Brown into a penalty, a false start.
Jamie Brown right there. Look at just rocking back on his heels, and it's really unfair to a guy to put him out there. You know, he hasn't played in a live game, a real game, since last year. He didn't get a preseason. Been hurt the whole time. Had the controversy with missing the games and suspension and all that.
Second and long, Young with pressure. Marcellus Wiley misses him. Another flag, and he'll hook up with Irv Smith before Manny Martin can bring him down. But Bruce Smith is pointing at the 49ers, and it is holding against the Niners. Unbelievable.
That's the only way to describe it.
12 penalties in the first half.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty.
3 now in the second half. Chris Dahlman, the center, the guilty party.
Well, I got to believe they're going to break that record.
Yeah, the way it's been going.
Watch inside, Dome in the center. He's working on Price.
Got the arm around the back.
And I seen that one go either way. Boy, that's a just to let the 49er faithful know, that's a chintzy one there.
Yeah, the referees have got the flags warmed up, and Bob McKittrick, the offensive line coach,
I bet he
not too happy.
He probably warmed up some backside in that locker room.
John Price chasing down Garrison Hurst. Hurst forced out of bounds. Pickup of 2.
And the thing that's funny is that the 49ers screen hasn't worked, and the reason it hasn't worked so far is because they haven't been able to set up anything else. The screen comes off of setting up certain run plays, which come off of setting up certain pass plays. Everything feeds up everything. So if you don't set one thing up, which they were never able to do, then the other things aren't going to work.
Yeah, the 49er offense is predicated on one thing setting up another.
Absolutely.
And they haven't been able to set up anything, and now it's 3rd and 20. Bruce Smith with pressure, but this sack is going to come from Marcellus Wiley, his first NFL career sack. And sometimes you look at Wiley and Smith, and they look a lot alike.
They look a lot alike. Yeah. That's what scares you about playing the 0-3 team, because you know that sooner or later they're going to have the breakout. Now Wiley's on the opposite side of Bruce Smith, and they look a lot alike coming up the field. He works on Deese and just beats him inside. Derek Deese just gave up the funk inside.
Reggie Roby hits a line drive. This will be Kevin Williams at his 38. Williams gets outside, and there is another penalty flag on the football field. A 46-yard punt, an 8-yard return for Kevin Williams.
Yeah, he danced a little bit too much and got blasted.
I tell you, the officials are going to have to ice down their arms after this game.
Somebody's going to tear a rotator cuff.
And it's against the Buffalo Bills, a holding call.
Illegal block during the return, number 85. 10-yard penalty, first down.
An illegal block from Jay Reimers will back the Bills up. They have a 20-0 lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by First Union, your guide to the financial world.
Orchard Park, New York. Ray Bentley alongside Ron Pitts. The Buffalo Bills have their first possession of the second half. They have a 20-0 lead. They'll start 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Johnson will hand off to Antoine Smith. Smith takes it outside, and he'll pick up 6 yards before he's forced out of bounds by Lee Woodall. 49ers are trying to get things settled with the offensive line. Offensive line coach Bob McKittrick talking with Steve Mariucci.
Yeah, and it's surprising to come out, and I talked about that first series in the 3rd quarter being important, and for them to have the penalties and then give up the sacks like that, it almost looks like the 49ers have lost a little bit of the composure.
It's like that halftime speech didn't work. I mean, you get 12 penalties in the first half. You come out in your first series, 3 more.
And you know, the game is far from over, especially the way the Bills have played, but that is not typical 49er.
2nd and 5, Johnson on play action. Hooks up with Quinn Early, and that's been there all day long. It'll be a first down for Buffalo. Pickup of 9 yards. Lee Woodall forces Early out of bounds.
And you got to remember, Quinn Early, he's taken the place of Andre Reed. Now, Quinn Early is no slouch. He came up here as a free agent a couple years ago from the Saints, signed a huge contract.
Down the field to the tight end.
There's something about Batch, and there's something about the Bears in 3rd quarter.
Jason Hanson for the point after. And it's good. So the Detroit Lions jump into the lead. 17-10, 6:56 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Well, let's not do that. Let's sit here and enjoy the football game. It's
I wanted to stay here anyway.
Day in Buffalo, and they didn't want us, I guess. That's all right.
We
still like each other.
We got kicked out of here, so
that's right.
What's the deal? What's the difference?
We're used to that kind of treatment. 2nd down. 7 yards. We will try that again. Sam Gadd. Actually, Antoine Smith fights his way up the middle. Post the first down yardage. We'll try it again. JB in Los Angeles in the Fox Network Center for an NFL update.
Ray and Ron, opening drive of the second half by the Cowboys culminates with a 6-yard TD run, first by Chris Warren as a Cowboy. On top of the Skins, 24-10. Ray Bentley, Ron Pitts.
Thank you, JB.
The Bills are right now, you knew this was going to happen going into that serious, slow ball control mode. You're up 20-0.
Time to eat some clock.
It's time to eat up the clock.
3rd down and 1. They'll hand it to Antoine Smith, but penetration stops him before he can get started. Bryant Young shooting through.
Joe Panos just got completely pinrolled into the backfield. I mean, this is a quick lesson on how to take out your own play. Watch here. Joe Panos is going to just get blown away. Actually, the center Dusty Ziegler got blown into Panos.
That'll force the Bills to punt it away. Chris Moore set to hit it deep to R.W. McQuarters. McQuarters at the 16. He'll fight his way up to the 29-yard line. Brought down by Marlo Perry, but there is another penalty flag on the play. A 30-yard kick.
Anthony Peterson and Mark Pike got a little twisted up down there.
And they're going to call holding on the 49ers.
Oh, boy.
16 penalties, a team record. Not the kind of team record you want to set. And they've been on a record-setting pace.
Holding, offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That'll be on Anthony Peterson, the linebacker. They have been setting records offensively, but the penalty record, that's the least thing that these 49ers expected. But they will have the football, and they'll be down 20-0 when we return. Bruce Smith staring into the 49ers huddle in San Francisco on the 19-yard line, their second possession of the second half. Come out with 3 wide receivers, Buffalo in their dime defense. Wow, Young to throw. A timing route outside, he connects with Jerry Rice. His second reception on the day, Thomas Smith with the coverage.
49ers have to go, and they have to go as of last series. And if you're going to go, you got to get number 80 involved in the game. Take what they give you. Thomas Smith is going to play 7 yards off, then run the out.
First down for the 49ers.
This is crucial time for the 49ers if they want to win this game.
First down and 10. Niners stay in 3 wide. Young to throw. Dumps it over the middle. It'll be incomplete. And Young took a shot from Bruce Smith. And there is another flag on the play.
Looked like Sam Cowart.
Interference. Defense, number 56. First down.
Now, anytime you come over the top of a receiver, you're going to get called for interference, and that's exactly what Cowart did. And I said a wow on that play. Looks like Bruce Smith, he got off the ball and gave Steve Young a shot. And you notice they're working inside.
Right.
Jamie Brown misses him. Not too bad. He helped him up. He's got a lot of respect for Steve.
That he does. First down and 10 for the 49ers after the penalty. Young changing the signals. The crowd gets into it. They throw it outside for Garrison Hurst.
What happened there?
Across the football. It looks like Ken Irvin came up with it. They're going to call it incomplete.
Intended for Garrison Hurst. Ken Irvin on the coverage.
So today's game summary, the Bills 20-0 lead, but the reason is the mistakes by the 49ers. The 3 turnovers led to 14 of the Bills' points, the 16 penalties and counting, a club record.
But look at Rob Johnson, 13 of 18. I mean, that is his best performance so far. That's almost flawless.
Playing a nice football game. Second down and 10. Young will throw it again, looking over the middle, and he has got Terrell Owens. Owens up into Bills territory to the 35-yard line, working on Ken Irvin, a pickup of 27.
If the Bills are going to double team Jerry Rice, then they're going to have to go to another guy, and that's Terrell Owens. But watch the double team here. Ray Brown just got enough of a little stiff arm to help out Jamie Brown. Okay, and once again, if you double Jerry, then somebody else has got to have the man-on-man. And they've been able to work Terrell Owens inside. That's the second time he's been able to catch that drag route across the middle of the field toward the post.
First down and 10 from the Bills, 36. Young on play action, underthrows Mark Edwards, and Young knocked down again by Bruce Smith.
You know, maybe the media in Buffalo, who was really on Bruce Smith's case, because they said he was a little lazy and should have played that first game against San Diego from that knee surgery. Maybe they'll get off him because he's doing a pretty darn good job. And I know he's working against a guy who hadn't played in a while, but they know they have to give Jamie Brown help, and they still can't get it done.
And Smith is working the inside. Now Brown's been told all week long he's going to go upfield outside around you. And now Bruce is mixing it up.
He's worked inside. And that confuses Ray Brown. Now, does Ray Brown have to help out?
Second down and 10. Chad Fan in motion for Steve Young. Young throwing down the middle for his tight end. Can't connect with an open Irv Smith. And again, Bruce Smith is laying on top of Steve Young.
Look at the respect these two guys got for each other. Steve is saying, hey, man, how many times are you going to hit me today?
And Bruce just pats him on the head.
And what it does is see, he works inside again on Jamie. And Jamie's thinking outside all the way. But what that does is it makes Steve pull the trigger a hair early and maybe not line up the crosshairs on the throw. And that's why it's a little bit overthrown, a little bit to the outside.
Smith yet to get a sack, but he has been
pressures.
And he's been pressuring Steve Young all day long. Third down and 10. Big play for the 49ers. And they move. They go early, and it's another penalty. And it looks to be Gary Brown. Or I'm sorry, Ray Brown. There's Ray Brown. There's Jamie Brown. They got Gary Brown. They got a lot of Brown offensive linemen.
Offense, number 65.
And this would be Ray Brown.
That's where I think the 49ers have lost their composure a bit in this game. You know, you don't see them do that, but this is a unique situation. You get shelled out in the first half and have to come back. And when you're veterans, I mean, you're guys that have been stalwarts like Ray Brown here, start to move and do things like that.
Yes.
You know that things are shook up on the 49ers sideline.
Having a bit of a brownout. Third down and 15. Three wide receivers. Steve Young. Back to throw. And he's hit by Bruce Smith, and the ball comes out. This will be picked up by Marcellus Wiley. Wiley cutting back, and he'll lay it down at the 45-yard line. Bruce Smith forces the fumble. Marcellus Wiley picks it up.
Yeah, they can say what they want to about Bruce being old and over the hill and maybe should have been out of here and all this and all that. But you ask Steve Young right now what he is. And what he is a Pro Bowl player that's making an impact, that's affecting this game.
Bruce Smith has taken over this football game.
And you know how he did it on that play? He did it by getting off the ball, which is classic Bruce Smith. And there you see the look on the other side of the field starting to set in.
First down and 10 for the Bills after the turnover on the 45 of the Niners. They'll pitch it outside to Antoine Smith. Smith will pick up 2 yards before Darnell Walker brings him down.
If a defensive end is going to make something happen, he's got to come off the ball. Watch Bruce and watch how he times it with the center's movement. Now, I mean, Jamie Brown never even got out of his stance. That's called getting off on the snap. Watch Jamie Brown's left foot. He can't even drop step. And if the guy's got a hurt knee and he can plant and come around the corner like that,
unbelievable.
Supposedly it's his right knee.
Second and 8, the Niners will blitz Rob Johnson. He'll throw it outside. He's got a connection to Quinn Early. Merton Hanks makes a stop.
We're talking about the respect these two guys have for each other.
I don't think Steve's too happy about that, but
I think Bruce is very happy about it.
Bruce giving him a little love. Young could use a little right now.
A different kind of honeymoon.
Third down now and 2 yards for the Buffalo Bills. Thurman Thomas checks into the ball game. 3 wide receivers. Johnson throws it. He's got his tight end Lonnie Johnson for first down yardage to the 29-yard line. Ken Norton Jr. with the tackle.
You know, Rob Johnson knows that this game is going back to the coast. He went to USC, played his high school football at Mission Viejo High School there in Southern California. You know, he knows that everybody's watching him. This is his chance to shine.
Been shining so far today. It's 1st down and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. They'll spread him into 3 wides. Thurman Thomas stays in the ball game. And Thomas will go off to the right side. He's got a little room. Cuts inside, down near the 20 to the 21-yard line before Winfred Tubbs can bring him down. But right now, let's return to James Brown in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for an NFL update.
Ray and Ron, Atlanta, 3 touchdowns in 48 seconds. This is the second of those 3. Chris Chandler to O.J. Santiago. It is 38-3, Ray and Ron. Atlanta spanking Carolina. Back to Ray and Ron.
Making up for last week's loss to these Niners, getting all over Carolina. Jamie Nails has checked in at right guard for the Buffalo Bills. 2nd down now and 3. Antoine Smith with nowhere to go. Tim McDonald coming up from the safety spot on a blitz. Knocks him down for a loss.
The game started just like Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, wanted it to start. Get a big play early, outside preferably, and then get some turnovers. They had some play by their defense, and then he stuck to the ball control game. They had the drive, they sustained the drives, and most importantly, they kept Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens off the field.
And out of rhythm. 3rd down and 5. Johnson looking outside. He connects. Quinn Early again working on Antonio Langham. Close to 1st down yardage, but he will be short. It's been all day long. Quinn Early's been able to work all over Antonio Langham.
Antonio must feel like they're getting ready to put jelly on him any minute now.
Toasted him.
He's feeling like a big piece of sourdough toast right now.
We got football on the field.
Short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down for the Buffalo Bills. They'll bring on Steve Christie. He'll attempt a 38-yard field goal. Christie has been good from 24 and from 19 so far this afternoon. Hit the upright on a 51-yarder. Chris Moore with a hole. The kick is up. Then it's through. And Buffalo takes a 23-0 lead over the San Francisco 49ers.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Toyota, every day belongs to you, make it count. By Canon Laser Color, its only competition is reality. And by Wendy's Spicy Chicken Sandwich. When you're hot, you're hot.
There's that same kind of pooch kick that caused problems the last time.
Christie hits it to Chuck Levy. Levy up to the 25-yard line before Marlo Perry brings him down. Buffalo's up 23-0. The Niners will have the football.
Yeah, here's a look at the 49er miscues today, and it's almost hard to start anywhere. There's so many of them, but I think it starts with the penalties, which have led to the yards, and that's a club record. But this here inevitably kills you, and that's the turnovers. And Buffalo, very smartly, has been able to take advantage of the turnovers. I mean, teams get turnovers all the time, but if you don't do anything with it, it's useless.
158 penalty yards, total yards for the 49ers, 160. 1st down and 10, Young to throw. He'll dump it outside, looking for Garrison Hurst. Hurst can't get the handle. And the Bills secondary is throwing a blanket over this vaunted passing attack.
Yeah, and I just see, except for that one play, and maybe one or two earlier, but that one play in the last series to Terrell Owens coming across the middle, I don't see the snap, I don't see the crispness, I don't see the fire in the offense. And that's got a lot to do with the way things have gone and sitting on the bench all that time and Bruce Smith.
2nd down and 10. Young will throw again. Pressure's on. He'll go down. Sacked by Phil Hansen. His 2nd sack of the day.
And you see, now everybody's getting a little piece of the pie. The Piranha have struck, and there's Phil Hansen. He works on the outside, and really looks like Young is just trying to get out of Dodge. J.J. Stokes. It's just man-to-man coverage. If they're going to double Jerry, somebody has got to be locked up across the rest of the field.
Ken Irvin with excellent coverage. Third down, 17. Young. Pressure again. Smith almost got him from behind. Young stays alive, dumps it over the middle to Garrison Hurst. Hurst is brought down before he gets first down yardage by Henry Jones, a pickup of 14. The Niners will have to punt.
Bruce Smith had the type of surgery that really requires a guy to stay out almost a year. He's been trying to go 6 months early and been criticized for it. But to me, Ray, he looks like the old Bruce Smith.
Well, they got his dander up.
And they said that the other day in practice on that Friday. He looked like, after hearing the comments in the paper, he looked like the old Bruce Smith coming around the corner.
Reggie Roby hits it away. Kevin Williams tracks it down at the 21. Williams with room. Up to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 16 after a 48-yard punt. Coming up tonight, we've got baseball. It's game 4 of the National League Division Series. A pair of lefties on the mound. Randy Johnson for the Astros going against Sterling Hitchcock of the Padres. San Diego took a 2-1 series lead last night. Jim Leyritz with a huge home run in the 7th inning. They're looking to close it out while Houston trying to force a game 5 in the Dome. We'll find out how it goes tonight following football at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. Killer bees in the series has
struggling a bit, huh?
Been getting killed. You talk about killer bees. How about the B. Smith? He has taken over this ball game in the second half. Buffalo with possession at the 38-yard line. They'll hand it to Antoine Smith. Smith with room on the left side. He'll take it outside. Cutting back. Picks up 14 on first down before Tim McDonald and Merton Hanks can corral him.
That's just a pretty run in a matter of Antoine Smith breaking the contain and getting outside. And once this guy gets going, he's a load. I mean, he represents the fast, big, power running back that's out there today in the NFL.
First down and 10. The Bills in Niner territory at the 49. They'll hand it up the middle to Smith, and he'll fight his way.
You see the 2 tight end formation. If the Buffalo Bills just they got a little something going on out there.
Sam Gash getting into it with Lee Woodall.
If the Buffalo Bills just run the ball every series for 4 downs and then punted it and used up the 40 seconds in between each play, it would make it hard alone for the 49ers to come back. I mean, they can just dominate the game now on clock management.
That'll bring us to the end of the third quarter with the score: the Buffalo Bills 23, San Francisco 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Welcome back to Orchard Park, New York. Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts. You see the score by quarter. A lot of zeros up there for the 49ers. Jerry Rice and Steve Young trying to figure out what's going on here.
Now, either they're talking about what they're going to serve on the plane ride home for dinner, or they're talking about what they need to do to get the ball in the end zone. I think they're talking about what they need to do to get the ball in the end zone.
I think so. Second down and 7. Antoine Smith tries the middle. Ken Norton Jr. says no.
Ken Norton Jr. making the stop. Antoine Smith.
It's interesting. Wade Phillips, as a defensive coordinator with the Saints and then with the Denver Broncos, has really been shot up full of holes by the San Francisco 49ers. You know, he played against them in the Super Bowl 24 when they had Joe Montana. He said, one thing I learned is that you can't give them something that they've seen all year long when you play. You got to give them something totally different to prepare for, or not to prepare for. He said, I made that mistake with the Saints, and I made it in the Super Bowl, and Joe Montana killed us.
Third down. Johnson fighting off the blitz, overthrows Eric Moulds. And they'll have to punt this one away. Darnell Walker with the coverage. Chris Moore will come and punt it away to R.W. McQuarters.
So once again, look where the ball is for the Bills. You know, it's on the other side of the 50. They're going to punt and put the 49ers once again in bad field position.
Moore hits it high. The quarters will let it bounce, and it'll go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. There is a flag down about the 46-yard line.
Hey, that's something new.
Yeah. Offsides on the 49ers.
I don't recall, Ray, maybe you can ever see in a 49er team have this many penalties.
Well, they never had. They have never had this, man. This will be, I believe, 18 now.
Offside. Defense, number 30. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 4th down.
I have never seen this team offensively this far out of sync. And Buffalo will make them go at it again on 4th down.
And that's for penalty yards. That's not penalties. That's yards. And that's worse because they've been getting a lot of the 15-yard penalties. Not just the 5, but the ones that really take you completely out of your game plan.
Chris Moore will try to hang it inside the 20-yard line. He's at 8 inside the 20 so far this year. Try to put backspin on this one. It bounces near the goal line. And they'll call it a touchback. San Francisco will have the football at the 20-yard line, trailing 23-0 when we return.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV. What are you looking at? By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Intel, makers of the amazing Pentium 2 processor. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
325 consecutive games the 49ers have gone without being shut out. That's in jeopardy. They have no points here early in the 4th quarter. Young to Rice.
And there's the big play they need.
Rice. Rice up past midfield before Sam Rogers can track him down. A pickup of 32 yards.
And I would expect them to start going hurry up. I mean, it should have been done a series ago. And here it is. But that's the big play they didn't get early in the game. And they couldn't have gotten with all the stuff that was going on.
1st down and 10. Young to throw again. He pumps. And now the pressure's on. He'll scramble. Avoids one tackler. Oh, he's got Edwards wide open. Edwards is going to score. Touchdown, San Francisco. John Holisek on the coverage. Slipped down. A 47-yard touchdown. Steve Young to Mark Edwards.
And this is going for 2 territory. And that was all done by number 8. Steve Young made that all happen.
Looked like Gabe Northern had a shot at Young.
They tried to go the pump and go on the other side. It didn't work. And the Bills thought if they could flush Young to his right side, that it's bad because he has to throw across his body and couldn't do it. Well, guess what? Surprise. The coverage can only last so long in the back, and Edwards makes a great play.
A great job of Mark Edwards taking it deep on a Young scramble, and the Niners will go for 2.
Well, the Bills having some difficulty even getting lined up.
Young rolls to his left, throws it out quick, and it's good to Jerry Rice.
The Bills never even got lined up. Henry Jones came over real late, lined up on Jerry Rice, and that one looked easy, and that's what the 49ers needed.
23-8, the Niners will kick it to the Bills. $13 minutes and 16 seconds left. You can't count out the 49ers. They go 2 plays, 80 yards in just 43 seconds.
And the best thing about that for them is that they made it happen so quick. Nothing came off the clock.
Kick will be deep to Williams. That is 2. Fake reverse. Williams finds an opening in the middle. He'll take it up to the 24-yard line before Lee Woodall brings him down. A return of 22 yards. The Bills will start at their 24.
Huge series coming up now for both teams, actually. The 49er defense, they should get a huge spark after that play. Now, they're still down, but there's so much time left on the clock that they have to believe they can make something happen, but the corners sooner or later are going to have to make this thing stand up. And they picked on Antonio Langham all day long.
Rob Johnson brings him out of the huddle. 2 wide receivers to his left. Early and Moles. Gash in motion. Johnson to throw. He zips it inside, and it can't. It's not held on by Quinn Early. Early doesn't able to catch it.
That was good coverage there by Antonio Langham. He sat down inside with Early. And really, Johnson held the ball. He waited a little bit too long. Now the Bills come out with the pass. They're backed up a little bit. You come out with the pass. What have you done? You've stopped the clock. Yep. That's exactly what the 49ers need.
But it's not all bad. I mean, everyone thinks they're going to run. Mix it up a little bit. Don't go into your shell, I think.
Good point.
2nd down and 10. We'll see how it plays out.
Don't get conservative. There comes McDonald.
The blitz. McDonald. They're going deep. Johnson looking for Eric Moles. He had a step, but it's overthrown.
Okay, now, that's what I'm saying. Now, that's 2 throws,
that's 2.
And the clock hasn't moved, except during the time of the play. And he was wide open. Johnson couldn't get it there. It would have been a tight throw. Working on the bottom of the screen here against Darnell Walker. He did the out and up.
Oh, he's got a nice little separation.
Yeah,
there.
He's got some separation. That would have been a tight fit. But now it's 3rd down, and everybody thinks you're going to throw.
3rd down and 10. Thurman Thomas checks into the backfield.
And in the past, this has been draw territory for the Bills.
It's a shuttle pass. Thurman Thomas, as a flag goes down, Thomas gets 1st down yardage before Tim McDonald brings him down. Good call from the Buffalo offense.
It looks like
offside. Defense number 92.
That was a huge one. That's a killer.
And see, there it is. That takes us back to how we started the game. The big plays, but the penalties. Had everything going. Your offense goes down and scores in no time. They get the 2-pointer. It's 3rd down. And then you have the offsides. But it didn't matter because Thurman Thomas had gone through and made the play. And the reason teams like that shovel pass is that they lose the ball, fumble it in there on the pass, it's considered a pass.
And it's incomplete.
Yeah, it's incomplete.
1st down and 10. Antoine Smith fighting for yards on the left side. Not a lot of room there. Brought down by Tim McDonald.
Now, see, they got back to the run. They had to do this.
2-yard gain.
And this is what they need. The Bills need for the clock to move. And the 49ers need to get off the field and get their offense back on the field.
Antoine Smith has picked up 40 yards on the ground today for the Buffalo offense. 11, 56, 55 and counting. 2nd down, 8 to go for Buffalo. Johnson will throw. He's looking downfield. He's got a wide open Eric Moles. And this is complete down to the 32-yard line. Another huge connection from Johnson to Moles, 28-yard pickup.
They've had it all day, and they've got it now at the crucial time. Right outside here, Moles working up the field. And Langham slips. Langham just has a bad down, along with the other bad downs. Right here, watch his feet. Hey, there's nothing wet here. This is the best day you're going to get in Orchard Park, New York, this time of the year.
For sure. So it's 1st down and 10. Buffalo at the 32-yard line of San Francisco. Antoine Smith, nothing going in the middle of the line.
No gain.
Ken Norton Jr. makes the stop. Brings up a 2nd down now and 10 for the Buffalo Bills, trying to wind this clock down. It's under 11 minutes. We apologize. Our Fox box is not functioning because the stadium clock isn't working. It ain't our guys. Our guys are doing a great job.
Our guys never mess up.
Don't get carried away. 2nd down and 10. Jay Remersma goes in motion. Johnson to throw. Looking for Remersma. He's not open. Johnson will scramble. He's got a little room. Slides in at the 26-yard line. Winford Tubbs in the vicinity.
Yeah, you have to wonder what have the Bills done to Bryant Young inside. I mean, he was there a lot in the 1st half, but there's the double and then a little hold in there. And now holding happens every single play on the offensive line, but they never call it, and they didn't call it there. Nice cleanup shot by somebody coming across the screen.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Kevin Williams in motion. They'll pitch it outside. This is Thurman Thomas. Flag comes out as Thomas comes across and picks up 1 yard before Junior Bryant gets him down.
Kevin Williams moved toward the line of scrimmage on that motion. I don't know if they're going to call that, but that's what I saw, and that's illegal.
And it is illegal motion. Today's game is being produced by Pete Macheska and directed by Mike Frank. The associate director is
illegal
Greg
motion.
Costa.
Offense, number 87, 5-yard penalty.
Our broadcast assistant is
82,
Eric
pardon
Biggie
me.
Billigmeyer.
5-yard
Studio is
penalty.
produced by
Repeat the
Scott
down.
Ackerson and Nancy Bernstein, directed by Bob Levy. This associate director is Jennifer Love. The senior producer, Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. With the penalty, it'll be 3rd down and 11 from the 33-yard line. Thurman Thomas in the ball game. 3 wide receivers. The blitz is on. Johnson throws it quick inside. He's got early on the slant. Brought down by Antonio Langham, short of a 1st down. It'll line up about a 45-yard field goal for Steve Christie.
And that's a long field goal, and even longer because with the ball outside the 20-yard line, if you miss the kick, the other team will get it at the spot of the kick. So therefore, the 49ers on a miss would have very good field position. And watch the 49ers rush inside. They've been really good at blocking these kicks.
Christie 3 for 4 on the day.
Not that time.
Got the distance, and it is good. Steve Christie nails it through the uprights, and Buffalo goes ahead 26-8 with 9:04 left in the contest.
I thought the 49ers were starting to lose their composure a bit earlier, and this proves it. Roy Barker venting just a bit, I'd say.
I would say.
And you know, hey, we've been there, okay? That it's easy to happen. It happens very easily.
Emotional game. Chuck Levy dodges one man at the 20. That's Mark Pike flying through the air. 16-yard return. Tuesday on Fox, King of the Hill reveals a shocking secret. Then Sue takes road rage to a new level on Costello, followed by Guinness World Record Prime Time. Tonight of all new episodes, Tuesday, starting at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
Great show, but she still can't dance.
Can't dance. We got
still, that's like 3-4 weeks now. She still can't dance.
That's a shame, too.
You see, that's a shame. I know you can dance better than that.
Yes, you know I can. 1st down and 10. The officials will blow it dead.
Timeout, Buffalo.
And the Bills take a timeout.
Their first timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
And we'll take one as well. The Buffalo Bills have a 26-8 lead over the San Francisco 49ers under 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Steve Christie, 4 of 5 in field goals today, sets a new club record for points for the Buffalo Bills, surpassing Scott Norwood. 1st down and 10 for the 49ers. They're in a 4-wide package. Buffalo in the dime defense. 6 defensive backs. Young throws over the middle. He connects with J.J. Stokes. Stokes brought down at the 35-yard line by Marlo Perry. 14-yard pickup. The Niners are in a hurry-up.
And there you see again the yards after the catch, a stat that has to be highlighted when you play the San Francisco 49ers, because that is where they gouge you.
Young over the middle, batted up in the air, a dangerous one, and a big hit from Henry Jones on Terrell Owens. Bill's secondary is flat out played outstanding this afternoon, and they've had pass rush.
And it's a secondary coming into this game that a lot of people said had holes in it. And maybe it does, but except for maybe 1 or 2 times, the holes have not shown today.
2nd down and 10. Young. He'll shovel it out to Garrison Hurst. And Hurst is met by Henry Jones again. Jones making another hit.
That looked more like a snowplow than a shovel. I mean, he let that one string out a long ways. This play is designed to run inside, and he's going to shovel it, and it's a pass. So if he loses it, it's just an incomplete pass. But Buffalo seems to have been a step ahead of everything the 49ers have done every day. And while they don't get Bruce Smith in on the play, he causes enough of the distraction to let his help get to the play and make the play.
He forced the issue. 3rd down and 8. Young. They double Smith. Young goes over the middle to tight end Irv Smith. Smith runs over one defender and pulls over another one, and he gets into Bills territory.
Big Irv Smith taking the load today with Greg Clark injured. And Steve Young doing a nice job of finding everybody on the field. Now, he hadn't done it all day today, but here, just a good job of Smith lowering his shoulders and bringing the truck. But now he's fit in very well.
Came over from New Orleans. Steve Young on 1st down, going over the middle again. Hits the defender and hit Henry Jones right in the back.
That's considered good coverage. Anytime the ball hits you in the back like that,
he's looking for
Henry
Terrell
Jones is going
Owens.
to work up the seam. Now, I don't know why Steve didn't put some air on this ball.
Yeah, I mean, he had him.
Now, he's got the safeties coming over the top, but put a little air on that ball. You know, we've said it before, but I think it warrants saying it again. This is the first time that Steve Young, Jerry Rice have been in this stadium. This stadium can do a lot of things to you. Number one, it can be very loud.
Getting loud on 2nd and 10. Young dumps it underneath. Chuck Levy, Henry Jones comes up with the tackle.
Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, what he wants to do now, he may not be able to prevent the score, but he sure wants to slow the score down and make him eat up all of that clock.
Young forced to scramble, and he's got room down the middle of the field. He'll slide it into the 23-yard line. Marlo Perry gets him down, a pickup of 12.
Young said, forget the hits. He went for that one, and you see the jump that Bruce Smith got off the line of scrimmage. I mean, by the time Steve Young got to his drop, and this is a team, when you can make the 49ers with Steve Young run out of the pocket that fast, you're doing something, because they get the ball off so fast that it's hard to get to him.
Steve Young lined up behind the guard on that last play. You're running that hurry up, you're doing all kinds of things, and you line up behind the wrong guy.
Wow.
Unbelievable. 1st and 10. Stokes in motion. Young will throw it. Looking into the corner. Not able to clear as J.J. Stokes. Ken Irvin with good coverage.
You know, I don't know if Steve was trying to give an audible.
He was telling his, I don't know.
I don't know. But he sure looked like he had gone to the wrong place.
He sure did. Lined up behind the guard to take the snap. And that's kind of another symptom of how the 49ers are out of sync. They can't even line up behind the center today. 2nd and 10. Young with time, looks for Jerry Rice down the sidelines. It's overthrown, and then the flag comes out late as Ray Jackson had the coverage. I'm wondering if this was a catchable football.
Steve Young had time.
Interference. Defense number 31. 1st down.
Steve Young had time because of what they did to Bruce Smith. Watch Garrison Hurst. This is called a chip. Boom, right there. That means he's going to just get a little bit of his shoulder to shut him down. Now here's the interference.
I don't know about that.
They called the push off. I don't know if that ball was catchable, number one, but if they called anything, we talked about the cutting off rule, and you can't do that now.
1st and goal for the 49ers. Steve Young looking over the middle for Jerry Rice. He can't hang on to it. Excellent coverage from Thomas Smith all over Jerry Rice.
You know you've got a lot of respect when the official helps you up. The official helping Jerry Rice up that time. Right here, just working on the slant. Great coverage by Thomas Smith.
He got that arm.
Ball's a little high, a little back. I've seen Jerry come up with those catches, but that ball is behind him. But Thomas Smith is able to keep him from getting that other arm up.
Right.
That's a good play.
2nd and goal from the 9. 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the ball game. Young to throw in the end zone. He's got his man, and it's a touchdown for the 49ers. Irv Smith, the tight end, working on Henry Jones.
We just talked about Irv Smith, how he would have to step up in this offense. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie. And Irv Smith had the big catch earlier down the field, and now the big catch for the touchdown. And this is 2-point territory once again. Irv Smith, look how he's flexed. He wants to give himself room to work in the middle of the field. Nobody in the middle of the field. Man-to-man coverage, no help there with Henry Jones. He's got to make it stand up, and doesn't.
The Niners will go for 2. Young on the play action, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it into Irv Smith again. The coverage from the linebacker, John Holisek.
Oh, that was close. It looked like some early contact there by Holisek. That is a huge play, because the 49ers are in a position where they needed 2 more scores and 2 more two-point plays.
Conversion would have got them to within a field goal and a touchdown. As it is now, they need 2 touchdowns.
Sooner or later, your linebackers are going to have to match up and make it stand up. Holisek comes out of nowhere. He gets an early bump, but they don't call it.
You know, he felt a little guilty the way his hands came up. And there's no guilt there for Wade Phillips. His hands come up after the big stop. 5:33 left. The 49ers trailing by 12. Is this onside kick territory yet? I think not. I think you got to get your defense to make a stop. There's a lot of time left. I mean, they scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah, but that's the
seconds.
problem. The defense hasn't been able to make a stop, whether it's been a penalty or just plain not being able to stop them. It might be onside time. I think it is.
Buffalo is going to take no chances. They have the hands team on, and the 49ers will line up as if they're going to kick it onside.
If my defense was playing better, then I might not do it, but the 49er defense hasn't shown that. And ironically, we talked about this, 49er defense comes into this game ranked 29th in the NFL, and the pass is 29th, and that's held up today. They get out of it.
Yeah, they got out of it.
So it seems, yeah.
And Wade Ritchie kicks it deep. And this will go into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback, and the Buffalo Bills will get possession on the 20-yard line. As you see the timeouts left, San Francisco with all of theirs, Buffalo with just 2. That drive for the Niners, a 10-play, 79-yarder, took 3 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock. Quarterback comparison, Rob Johnson's gotten the better of it today.
Yeah, he has. He's clearly gotten the better of it. And they were able to do everything they wanted, and he started off on the right foot. You know, who knows? They start off and don't get that big bomb right off the top. This game might go in a whole different direction.
Buffalo with 2 tight ends in the ball game. Try to grind out some time off the clock. They'll hand it to Antoine Smith. He bounces outside and gets up past the 20 to the 22-yard line before he is brought down by Chris Dolman and Lee Woodall.
And obviously they'll use all of that 40-second clock before they snap it again, possibly forcing the 49ers into burning a timeout, if not more. And I would think definitely not more, because they need to save some for offense.
Getting close to the 5-minute mark. 2nd down and 8. Johnson milking the play clock. Snaps it with 6 seconds left. Antoine Smith on the right side finds a little bit of a seam, works his way up to the 25-yard line. Roy Barker and Lee Woodall make the tackle.
And now the 49ers burn it.
San Francisco, their first timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
Coming up next, it's the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader as the Eagles head into Mile High to take on Terrell Davis and the Broncos, or it's a battle between the Giants and the Buccaneers. All coming up next here on Fox. 4 minutes and 41 seconds left Jerry Rice is right where the Bills want him, on the sideline.
That's where he's been all day long. And he was never able to get his big catch, except for that one time he got it. But he was never able to get it early. And they say when you play the 49ers, if you can survive their first assault, their first attack, you got a chance. Because that first attack leads to the huge second quarter because they've got you pinned.
They got you on your heels. 3rd down and 5. Buffalo and 3 wide receivers. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. The corner blitz comes. Thomas finds a seam. He gets first down yardage. Ken Norton Jr. and Tim McDonald combined for the tackle, but not until Buffalo moves the chains.
And that's the burst from Thurman Thomas that I'm still seeing. Now, I don't see what some of the papers have been saying about he's finished and there's a guy that can save room on the salary cap with. I see a guy that can still accelerate through the hole.
And not only that, Ron, he's such a veteran leader for this football team, and that means more than you can say. And the guy can still play. He got a first down. It's 1st and 10 for the Bills on their 33-yard line. Blitz again. Thomas finds another seam. He busts open up to the 48-yard line. Merton Hanks makes the stop, but that offensive line is answering the call.
The offensive line is answering the call. And Thurman Thomas is exploding. Watch how fast he goes from getting the ball through the hole. That is what he's done all his career here. I don't see any drop off there. In fact, like you said, I have more energy now. I haven't played the whole game, so now when he comes in, he wants to go. If you're an opposing defensive coordinator, do not cross out number 34.
Fresh legs for the 11-year veteran Thurman Thomas. 1st and 10, the Bills at the 38. 48, out of the 50. Thurman Thomas forcing his way into the middle, brought down by Junior Bryant. The Niners are going to take another timeout, their second timeout with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left.
This is a 30-second
The second
timeout.
half of this ball game, early on, Bruce Smith took over.
He did take over, and I think right from the start, he got a beat on Jamie Brown. He knew what he could deal with. He knew what he could get on him, and then he just exploited it. And it was really a tough deal for Jamie Brown coming in, haven't taken a snap in a live game since last year with the Broncos. But clearly, as we said in the open, Ray, that one of those two guys were going to dictate the outcome of this game. Bruce Smith set the tempo for the Buffalo Bills. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to the Bills defensive coordinator, Ted Cottrell, for really running a smart game plan, not trying to do too much like the Falcons did last week, and a little help with some penalties and turnovers.
Thurman Thomas again. Fights his way on 2nd and 7 for about 2. Brought down by Lee Woodall and Bryant Young. And the clock continues to tick. And San Francisco will take their final timeout with 2 minutes and 52 seconds left. San Francisco came in averaging 533 yards a game. The streak, safe to say, is going to be over. Barring something short of a miracle.
And that's funny because this is a Buffalo Bills team that has been a little bit, how do you say?
Undisciplined?
Yeah. There's been some talk about
the mistakes that they've made.
Right. They've got a lot of young guys and that core of veterans, Andre Reed, Bruce Smith, and Thurman Thomas. And there's a separation there. There's a generation gap there. Right. Not always can that group of guys, not always that they've been able to talk to the younger guys. And the younger guys have been criticized for not having that winning attitude and knowing how to win.
3rd and 5. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. This play will be stopped. The flag on the ground again.
And I know for a fact that the 49ers have always had a tremendous amount of respect for the Buffalo Bills. Not just because of the way they played them.
Prior to the snap, offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Not just because of the way that they played them, but I think because of the Bills, that offense they've had for all those years. You know, the red gun and the tempo and the speed. They've admired the way the Bills could go down and score points because the 49ers could always go down and score points like that. But they said this is a team we don't know much about. The times that we've played them, they played us tough. And then you couple that with a guy like Joe Pendry, offensive coordinator with Carolina. They had trouble when he was there. And then Wade Phillips perhaps finally learning his lesson against the 49ers.
3rd down and 10. Thomas breaks it outside. He'll go nowhere. It's Winfred Tubbs coming from the linebacker spot along with Darnell Walker to make the tackle. 3rd down, 4th down now and 10. Buffalo will have to punt it away. Next 5 games for the Bills. Indianapolis won against San Diego today. They're 1-4. They'll go down there, and then it's Jacksonville here in Orchard Park.
And things will get interesting for the 49ers. You know, they'll take a very good record out of here, even with what appears to be a loss now, but they've got to go to New Orleans.
That'll be an interesting ball game next week. And New Orleans right now is in overtime with New England. They could be in first place all alone at 4-0. How about Mike Ditka and his Saints?
Buffalo.
Well,
their second timeout.
What do they say? He huffed and he puffed, and he finally blew the bad blood out of there.
I guess.
And he's got something good going.
The Bills have to take a timeout. They were running out of time on the play clock. They have 1 timeout left. The Niners have no timeouts left.
Well, how about some bold statements, though, this week from Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith? And say, hey, we know we can beat the 49ers. Okay, in fact, if you bring back all the old guys, we'll take them all right now. We're just not sure how the young guys are going to react.
I don't know if I'm one of those old guys willing to do that, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I mean, that just gives you an idea of the type of drive they've had here. I mean, that is the core that was part of dominating the AFC for 4 years in a row.
Steve Christie in to punt it away. R.W. McCorders standing at his 10-yard line. It seems like every time he's going to return a punt, he's standing at his 10-yard line. Buffalo his own field position all day.
That's a very good point.
Moore.
They tried to
come
out.
High one.
That wind is tricky there.
McCorders at the 18. Breaks 1 tackle, but he's brought down by Sean Price at the 16-yard line. That's where San Francisco will be in business. A 33-yard punt from Chris Moore.
And there's another segment of the game for the Bills that's been solid today, special teams. Forcing key turnovers at the time when the 49ers could afford it the least. And then on coverage is being very, very solid.
Bruce DeHaven, the special teams coach for the Buffalo Bills, does an excellent job. The Niners will be able to get 1 play off before the 2-minute warning. 2:04 left on the clock. From their own 16. Drew Smith chasing Steve Young out of the pocket.
Steve trying to wave everybody up deep and finally just pulls the plug on it.
Yeah, there's nobody open. So the Niners will be a 2nd and 10. They trail 26-14. We're at the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 33.
The Buffalo Bills lead San Francisco 26-14. To correct an earlier statement, New Orleans lost this afternoon 30-27 to New England. A Vinatieri field goal with 3 seconds left was their undoing. Steve Young throws it outside. It's knocked away. A great play from Ken Irvin.
Yeah,
trying to hit Terrell Owens.
But that still makes that maybe now an even bigger game.
Yeah, they'll both be. It looks like they'll be 3-1, battling for first place. Atlanta winning today big. They're also 3-1. And you look at the schedule for the 49ers. The big one coming up November 1st, but they've got to get through New Orleans first, in New Orleans. 3rd down, 9 yards to go. Young will throw as there's another penalty. Jerry Rice. Kind of short-armed.
Jerry Alligator on that one.
And Steve Young is hot. He's frustrated. And it's because there's another penalty on the 49ers. Their 19th penalty of the day.
Offense prior to the snap. Number 63, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Derek Deese. Marcellus Wiley, we talked about him being possibly the heir apparent to Bruce Smith, or at least he's played that way today. Making Deese a little antsy. He beat him on the inside move earlier.
19 penalties for 168 yards for the 49ers. That's the story, along with their 4 turnovers here today. 3rd down and 14. Young dumps it outside to J.J. Stokes. Stokes makes one-man miss. Spins his way up, and he'll have a 1st down. Brought down by Manny Martin.
I mean, it's been such disarray for the 49er offense today that when J.J. Stokes catches the ball, you almost say, wow, where has he been? And it's been like that with Jerry. You say, wow, where's he been?
Where have they been?
Where have they all been?
Unsportsmanlike act on the team area of Buffalo. A coach in the white area impeding the official to work. 15 yards. 1st down.
So let me translate that for you. Wade Phillips walked onto the field almost and said something to the official, and they didn't like it. That's what actually happened. He cussed out the official.
We've had them all today. Wade Phillips has got the sleeves rolled up. He's not done. So that puts the Niners out to the 41-yard line. 1:40 left in the ball game. No timeouts. 1st down and 10. 4 wide receivers in the game for Steve Young.
Jamie Brown.
Flag, and they go early again.
Jamie Brown got on the rocking horse.
20 penalties
Ball start.
against the 49ers
Number 72
today.
prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty.
173 penalty yards. 4 short of their all-time record. They already blew away the number of penalty record.
And like I said, the penalties, that's one thing, but the yards that you lose.
Look at that.
I think the 49ers could have used 173 yards for offense today. I can't think of any better way to take an 0-3 team and get them excited about football again than to beat a team like the 49ers.
Coming into today's game, the 49ers in 3 games had 19 penalties. 20 today. 1st down and 15. Young throwing outside, a nice catch. Ray Jackson on the coverage. J.J. Stokes with the reception, a pickup of 14.
Just a nice catch by Stokes. I mean, when J.J. Stokes has to reach up for a ball, that's a high throw because he's 6'4", 6'5".
2nd down, 1.
He just comes down, makes a nice stab.
The 49ers just into Bills territory. 2nd down and 1. 1:35 left.
Boy, they keep picking
again.
up early. You know, this would drive. Oh, now here they go. Gogan jumped all over. Looked like Marcellus Wiley. No, that was somebody else.
Looked like
that was Price.
It was Sean Price, and I think it was Derek Deese, the right tackle, who had the hiccups. Dick Hantak's going to lose his voice.
False stat. False start. Offense. 63. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense. By rule, the 5-yard penalty is declined. 15-yard rule is enforced. 1st down.
That's the 5 versus the 15. They'll take the 15 by rule, and that's a huge mark off for the 49ers.
One minute, 35 seconds still left on the clock.
But the point stands, you know, the tackles for the 49ers, and I don't think it's real loud right now. I mean, compared to what this stadium can be like, apparently they're not hearing the snap, or the 2 defensive ends are making them nervous. They can't stay in the stance.
Steve Young will throw on first down. Going over the middle. This is knocked away. Right now, let's return to James Brown in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for an NFL update.
Ray and Ron at Tampa, the Pirate ship. Danny Cannell throwing behind Tiki Barber, picked off by Mincy. Mincy returns it 21 yards to pay dirt. Tampa on top early, 7-0 over the Giants. Back to Ray and Ron.
You talk about must-wins. That's a big game for both teams, but even more so for the Buccaneers.
So they're a different team at home. Second down and 10. Steve Young pointing traffic out. He'll hook it up with Terrell Owens. And Owens gets out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Brought down by Henry Jones.
First down, fumble forward, out of bounds. The ball is returned to the spot of the fumble. First down.
And they'll wind the clock.
Now see, it's under 2 minutes. That ball's fumbled. And of course, only the person that can only recover it is the guy who fumbled it under 2 minutes, but it went out of bounds anyway, and that's where they're going to mark it.
Still enough for a first down. Steve Young throwing the quick slant to J.J. Stokes. Stokes has got it, and he'll get into the end zone.
He'll get in.
49ers. A 21-yard touchdown, Steve Young to J.J. Stokes. And it'll be 26-20.
Just an inside slant by J.J. Stokes, and we talked about yards after the catch. They don't make the tackles, and it's a great run. This is what the 49ers have wanted Stokes to do for so long. Use that 6'5", 200-pound body and make things happen.
Wade Ritchie on for the extra points. He nails it, and we have a 5-point ball game. Buffalo 26, San Francisco 21, and now we'll get to see that onside kick.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills made some serious errors, and it started with the head coach. Now, whether that was warranted or not, he gets called for that penalty being in the white. Then they had the 5 versus the 15, the unsportsmanlike conduct by Price. Now, you may not think that's a big thing, but you turn around and look up at that score right now, and the 49ers are 1 possession away from going down and winning this game.
And there is 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the clock. The 7-play, 84-yard drive took 1 minute and 1 second.
And funny, Ray, you talked about miracles. Well, all it takes is a couple bad plays and a couple stupid plays, and things can turn around in a hurry. You know, as fast as the turnovers and penalties got the 49ers in trouble to begin with, the penalties have gotten Buffalo in some trouble right now.
Wade Ritchie will kick this one onside. Buffalo with the hands team on the field.
I mean, that was a drive. They drove all the way down the field and put it in. 84-yard drive.
Had some help from some Buffalo miscues. Turned it around. Ritchie to tee it up. The Niners are offsides.
They're offsides. The Niners are offsides.
The scramble for the football. But San Francisco was offsides. They did come up with the football, but there is a flag near the 30-yard line.
Offside on the kickoff, number 28. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
That's the problem with trying to sync up a good run by the kickoff team and then to get your players to get on the ball. Now, Buckley, 28, he's at the top. He can't cross this line coming up right here until the ball's kicked. You can see he's a good 3 yards over the line. Actually, that looked like Levy up top. Chuck Levy actually was offsides as well.
Actually, I think it's Darnell Walker, number 38, is the outside man. But there were two of them. Buckley was offsides as well. Two of them got it.
The ball's got to pass here before the 49ers can recover it.
We'll try it again. And this one's banging loose.
Now it's touched.
And Buffalo retains possession. Thurman Thomas makes the play.
That was a live ball.
And there goes Thurman.
He's going to take the 500 and toss that bad boy into the stands.
This is pretty good execution.
Okay, now they're probably a little bit too farther back.
On a second onside attempt, the ball is given to possession of the receiving team at the spot of the infraction. First down.
What happened was the 49ers touched the football before it went 10 yards.
Yeah, Buckley touched it.
That's a penalty.
That's a penalty. It went before it went 10 yards. Watch to the left of your screen. Buckley touches the ball before it goes 10. Remember I drew the line?
Right there.
Saying that was the first time they could touch it. At that point, now it's Buffalo's ball on the second onside.
So the Bills simply have to take a knee. And this one's over. And Wade Phillips gets the Gatorade bath. And he took him down. It was a knockout bath.
And that constitutes the 22nd
penalty.
And ties the NFL record for the 49ers.
Amazing. Well, despite the loss, Steve Young has his 4th consecutive 300-yard plus 3-touchdown game. That also an NFL record. All Rob Johnson has to do is take a knee, and this one will be over. The Buffalo Bills come up big at home. First win for Wade Phillips as the head coach of the Bills. So for Ron Pitts and Pam Oliver, I'm Ray Bentley saying so long from Orchard Park with the final score: the Buffalo Bills 26, the San Francisco 49ers 21. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our doubleheader, where most of you will see the Eagles and the Broncos at Mile High right after these words from your local Fox stations.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, where legends are made, where champions are crowned, where dreams come true. Fox Sports, home of the 1998 World Series and Super Bowl 33.